It is time to prepare to trade the best setups at the best prices. In terms of our trading today, it was fairly good. My first trade on the day, I ended up buying SPY call options at the exact lows and selling towards the exact peak. It was a very nice win, and it was an overall big win because we ended up quadrupling our position size, adding to the winner 4 times. Then after that, I quickly re-entered calls and I cut it very, very quick because the contracts were extremely high. They were just sitting out of the money and no move was playing out. So I decided to play it safe and take a small loss on the second trade. Finishing the day overall strong within the green. In terms of G-Roar, he ended up doing fairly well today, going 2 for 3. In terms of the futures hours trading session, I did not trade futures last night. I'm going to be explaining to you why I decided to trade futures when the market closed and I'm still holding ES. After the market closed, I ended up buying ES at 4:30 p.m. at 6660. I ended up getting in nearly at the exact lows. It is currently spiking, last time I checked, in the mid 670s. The contracts are already up 15 points. I'm going to be holding those throughout the night and likely selling into the morning. With that being said, I'm going to continue to prepare to trade the best setups at the best prices. I'm going to be going over the trades towards the end of this video. I'm going to be explaining to you how I was able to buy SPY call options on my first trade at the exact lows, why I ended up adding multiple times, why I sold towards the exact peak, and then I'm going to be explaining to you towards the end why I decided to buy ES at 4:30 p.m., literally towards the exact lows. Let's get straight into the analysis. So, in terms of today, I didn't make any trades once FOMC was out. When SPY dipped this morning, I literally bought the dip at the exact low, sold towards the exact peak, re-entered a quick trade, and just cut the loss very, very quickly. It was a very small loss. It was basically just the dud. I got in, got out the second one. Then I bought futures at the exact lows. So it was a fairly good day, considering how the overall price action just wasn't the overall best, especially on the call side for today. But with that being said, I'm going to be walking you through all the strategies that I ended up using to buy SPY calls at the lows and to buy ES at the lows, despite a massive red overall day. Like I said, I did not trade during the FOMC. It was all before, and then ES was after. So with that being said, in terms of the overall SPY, this is what I want you to understand. The daily chart pattern is currently setting up bullish. There's going to be overall opportunities to be going long heading into tomorrow, especially if we're opening up with a gap up. There will also be opportunities for put options. In terms of the idea for puts, I made it very, very clear. There was two main ideas on puts. These were the higher levels for puts starting at 674. For those of you who decided to buy puts at 674, you absolutely banked yesterday, and you could also bank today if you held some swings. And then if SPY were to go under 665, that's when you can try puts as well to ride it back down to 660. I stayed away from that overall idea, right? So in terms of where we are right now, this is what I want you to understand. The market is sitting at our key critical make or break level. You guys are all well aware in terms of the SPY, if it were to go under 665, you could have attempted to, make a quick trade on puts as we were expecting it to drop to as low as 659 to 658 if it does go below 665. So, once it went finally below 665, right, we had red, green, red. We had lower highs and resistance for multiple hours. Literally right here, I ended up buying SPY calls at the exact lows, sold into the peak, and then right around here, I ended up getting a good entry, but it just wasn't doing anything. So I got out very, very quick for a very small loss. And then after I got out, it just kept on going lower and lower and lower and decaying. And then once the FOMC hit, it absolutely collapsed, right? So in terms of the overall market, it blew through 665 after topping at 674, which was our level for puts. In terms of overall confirmations, if you looked at the chart, it was just red, green, red, red, green, red, 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 double green, red. So much lower highs, failed breakouts all day, and then just nonstop red 30-minute candlestick confirmations. The 30-minute confirmations at the levels are going to help lead you in the overall direction to be trading, and you guys are well aware if a level reacts bearish, then you can attempt puts. If it reacts bullish, you can attempt calls instead of just solely using overall strategies. Use the confirmations with strategies as well. So, point being is, the market right now is currently bouncing at the oversold levels, right? So in terms of our oversold levels, if we go below 665, the main oversold levels to be watching for calls were towards, 661. This right here is a very strong level where a massive bear trap ended up getting, created here. Also, you got the glitch in the matrix right here at 662. And then a very strong overall break and retest support zone is 660, 659, 658, even 657, right? So right now we are literally at the make or break, hanging on a thread overall levels, and the market is extremely volatile. And as long as we're holding towards, you know, previous weekly lows, the market's going to maintain overall bullish, but then still try to drop at key levels for puts, which is what I'll be giving you the new overall key levels for puts, because we got to do some important updates for puts as well, because there is going to be opportunities for puts at lower levels now, since SPY has cracked 665. But what I need you to understand is, in terms of the overall weekly chart, we're hanging on by a thread. We're at make or break. We have so much big upside potential at 661 and also, 658 to 659, right? So this is a very dangerous zone right now to be buying puts if we're not going below the level, because it's going to try to bounce first. Another very important note about this bounce is, you know, these levels were never tested during normal trading hours, right? So 661 extended hours break and retest support zone, and then 657 to 660 extended hours break and retest support zone, right? Even if the market were to drop lower overall, once it hits these levels for the first time during normal trading hours, it would be very unusual that if SPY didn't bounce first and have a very nice spike. Because I'm telling you, in terms of how this overall market works, one of the best strategies you can do in this overall market is to buy oversold dips using the break and retest strategy when these extended hours formation levels are tested for the first time during normal trading hours, right? So when these overall levels are finally tested during the normal trading hours session, right? That's when the market's really going to attempt to have a strong bounce. And what I would encourage you to do when SPY is trading at those levels, especially during the normal trading hours session, you could even potentially do it during extended hours. Like I said, I'm currently in futures. This is a very rare opportunity that I will not be passing up on. And I'm looking to kind of hold into that. Not saying this is exact lows, but it does look like for the short term, this could potentially have a very nice gap up. And it looks like we got more upside than downside heading into tomorrow currently. But the normal trading hour is going to be extremely important as well. But in terms of futures, this just appears to be one of those free money plays where you just buy, hold, and then sell into the rips. Don't flip green to red, right? But what I really encourage you to do is, I encourage you, instead of trying to catch a falling knife, but keep a note that the market should try to bounce first when those levels are tested for the normal trading hours, but it can also have a massive rip during extended hours. So it could actually be a situation where if we bottom here during extended hours, we have a massive spike, come back down towards our key levels for puts, which I'll give you. And then during normal trading hours, when we come back down, it spikes again. It could be that particular situation if the market bottoms here. If not, then the market could sell off a little bit lower, and then it's likely just going to rip back up. And then when it drops back down, it's still going to try to bounce as well, right? Either way, if you're holding futures from these levels, it looks like a phenomenal trade where you should be able to be green like we currently are. So at those overall levels, I just want you to focus on bullish patterns. Green, double red, green, right? Bullish confirmations. Breakout, retest, see how the previous resistance channel is now a support after it had the breakout and the retest. Green, red, green, green, red, green, breakout, all green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations, right? So I want you to focus on patterns that look like March 17th, right? And then in terms of what bearish patterns look like, as you can see today, this was, again, SPY topped at our 674 put level twice. I brought a lot of awareness into last night's video that, if SPY is forming resistance at 674 towards previous day highs, it could be a great level for puts, right? I brought awareness to the idea. And if you just look at the overall trend, this is very bearish momentum and very bearish trend. It's basically the opposite of what I just showed you on a bullish chart, right? So for puts, you look something like this, right? If SPY's, got some resistance, it retests, or if it's just forming lower highs, this would be a bearish overall chart. Red, green, red, red, green, red, red sell off, red, green, red, previous support is now resistance, lower highs, more red, right? So that's the complete opposite, flipped upside down of the bullish pattern with a different color coded red, green, red, a higher resistance rather than green, red, green, and it's forming lower highs instead of higher support, right? And you can see throughout the day, all it was doing was just forming red, double green, red, bearish pattern, not green, double red, green. So it's literally the exact opposite with the colors flipped at resistance with that bullish pattern that I showed you, right? So if you want strong bearish patterns in the market, use March 18th data, save that and trade that at our levels. And when you see it in formation, you know, whether bullish or bearish at the levels, you're going to do phenomenal. Just wait for confirmation to come in, right? Red, double red, green, previous support right here, new lower highs, red, green, red, too many lower highs, too many failed breakouts, too many bearish wicks, right? Starts to sell off, previous support right here, retest, red bearish facing down, and then all this red, right? Literally the exact opposite of the bullish pattern, different color coded. Literally it's a great mirror to show you, you know, both realms, right? Really encourage you to use March 17th for bullish and March 18th for bearish in terms of pattern recognition at our levels and overall trends and trend reversals and identifying when the reversal is occurring and identifying the trend capturization, right? So anyways, you know, basically we're hanging on by a thread and the most likely outcome is we bounce first. You know, I'm not missing out on this overall play. Even if it drops first, it should recover. These are the best levels to be buying calls. You know, when these levels are tested during normal trading hours, it's likely going to bounce first, even if it does go lower. So it could be a situation where if you buy now, you can win on futures, and then you could risk a small percentage of that profit on options, you know, at our levels for potentially puts. And then also when it drops back down with bullish confirmations, you know, catching that falling knife reversal, when the market tests during the normal trading hours, you know, because not only can the market bounce here, but it can also bounce at the overall levels during normal trading hours, right? So we're at the best levels for calls, you know, we still got 2 days left into the week, right? Technically a little bit more if you're trading futures right now, right? So if you really think about it, right? The best trade technically is to just get in on futures. And the reason why I say that is we have all the fucking time in the world for this to bounce. So when the fuck do you think it's going to bounce? Do you think it's going to bounce last minute? No, it's sitting at the hanging on a thread fucking level. You understand? Like, we have so much fucking time. If this was bearish and this was going to go fucking lower, don't you think that the most likely outcome would be that it bounces first now, as we have so much more fucking time into the rest of this week? You know, it's just like a genius no-brainer trade to be getting in on fucking futures. Even if this shit was bearish, even if we push fucking lower, it's like if you look at the amount of time, we have so much more time than trading this tomorrow or Friday. So even if this was bearish as fuck, the most likely outcome is it would bounce first. And if it was bullish as fuck, it would still fucking bounce. So the most logical thing you can literally do is to buy futures now. You have all the time in the world. Even if it was bearish, it's gonna bounce. If it's fucking bullish, it's gonna fucking, like, dude, this is a no-brainer fucking play. This is a perfect representation on why you have to trade futures, you know? Not many people are doing this. Guaranteed. I don't think you can name a lot of people who are doing this. 4:31 p.m. Let's buy ES at 6660. That was my third trade on the day. The first one was fucking amazing. I bought SPY at the exact lows. The second one was just a dud. I got in, I got out, not even a fucking scratch. Very small L. And if you look at ES, ES is already at 6680. We're already up 21 points. I haven't had one single loss this year trading futures. It is the best thing you can do is to buy futures and hold overnight. It is so fucking elite. And the reason why this shit is so fucking elite is because even if SPY were fucking bearish, even if it fucking, you know, sold off, went lower, flipped super bearish this week, right? This shit has to bounce first. So when the fuck do you think it's gonna bounce? Don't you think it's gonna bounce when we have all the fucking time in the world? It's like, dude, even if this shit went lower right fucking now, it's the best fucking time because we have more time. That is why we have more fucking time for it to spike before, even if it potentially went fucking lower. It is fucking genius to be trading fucking futures. And I can assure you, if you want to trade at the best setups, at the best prices, you have to start trading futures. Because as you can see, the best levels within the market, everybody was well aware. If SPY goes below 665, we were going to be looking to buy calls at our lower levels. And look, our lower levels right here and right here, look where they fucking hit. They bottomed during the futures fucking session. And we're already up fucking 25 points already. Not a single fucking loss this year trading futures. If you're red and you're losing money, good. Start trading fucking futures, dude. This shit is so fucking simple. It is fucking cracked. I've never seen anything more easy and more simpler than buying and holding futures at fucking night. It is absolutely unfucking real, man. A lot in terms of our strategy, like you guys have been like well aware that like we really like to buy, when these extended hour levels form, we like to buy them when SPY tests during the first time. But in certain situations, it's like, dude, if this shit tests during fucking futures and it's at our best level for calls, it's like, this shit has all the time in the fucking world to go up. It makes perfect common sense. The market has to bounce. All the time in the fucking world is now, Think about how much fucking time we have left until the market opens. The most logical thing you can do is buy the motherfucking dip. That's why at fucking 4:30 p.m. and normally I'm not trading futures hours this early, but normally, we're not having fucking FOMC and SPY's not just fucking free falling at our best level to buy calls, man. See, this is what I was talking about. Tuning out all the fucking noise, waiting for someone to get trapped, right? Below 665, the bulls got trapped, which is normal. If it goes below 665, I told you it's going to the lower levels. If you want, you can play puts or you can sit the fuck out. Me, I sit the fuck out, right? I'm not the biggest trader in terms of buying puts at lower levels. I prefer, like, I gave it the best level. If you go back and you watch the video I posted on Sunday, Monday, whatever it was, you can go back. I literally said, starting at 674, you need to buy puts. Dude, this shit topped at 674, 675 twice. And I brought a lot of awareness to, if the market does go below 665, then yeah, it's going to drop to 660. And I brought a lot of awareness that I'm not going to be trading during FOMC. So what I decided to fucking do was, obviously this shit looks bearish as fuck, but just because something looks obvious or confirmed doesn't mean I'm going to enter a trade, dude. I bought calls today at the exact lows. Do you understand how hard that was to do? Look, I'm going to show you something. You want to know how fucking hard this was to do? Like, this is why when I'll make a trade like this, dude, I won't do shit after this. I'll just fucking wait for the next best play. Like, it's so fucking hard on a bearish day to buy calls at the exact fucking lows. And I didn't just buy fucking calls. I quadrupled my position size. Look, 10:35 a.m. This is my first trade. 667 calls at 182 cents. So let's go to the timestamp, right? Let's see. Was this exact fucking lows? Let's see. 10:30 10:32 a.m. 10:35 a.m. 667 calls. This is my first trade on the day. 10:35 a.m. Let's see. Right here, look, this is 10:35 a.m. Right here, look at this. Towards the exact lows. This was the bottom, this was the breakout, and then this is me buying on the break and fucking retest, right? And then look, shit goes from 666 all the way to fucking 668. It went 2 points in the fucking money. The calls fucking exploded, and we sold towards the exact peak on that trade. After that, I was basically done. I took one more trade on calls. It was a very small loss. I got in, I got out. This one, man, we were selling this in the 230s, 240s. We fucking killed on that. Nice 60-cent profit per contract on that. And then the next one was a very small L. I got it on the next one 204 cents, and then I got out at 190 cents, very, very small L. And then after that, I bought futures at the exact fucking lows. Same way I bought SPY calls towards the exact fucking lows, dude. Losing is genuinely a personal fucking choice. If people listen to what the fuck I said in terms of, like in terms of last night's game plan, how the chart played out, it wasn't the most like useful, all it did was just top at one of our levels for puts, 674, 675, and then it's just sold off hard. So in terms of last night's game plan, like, yeah, it wasn't the most useful overall game plan. The market really didn't do much. It really just came down to, is it going to react bullish or bearish at 665, because the big move already played out during extended hours and it just chopped, right? So I mean, based off the game plan, I wouldn't have really expected to buy calls at the exact lows. I would say that was extremely fucking rare in terms of what the fuck I did. It wasn't the most useful game plan, but the market reacted extremely bearish, forming lower highs on a bearish trend all day. I still managed to buy calls at the exact lows because that's just what I'm good at. Whether it's a bullish or bearish day, my system still works. On a dude, SPY dropped from 675 to 660 today. A lot of people probably thought that I was taking major losses. I bought calls at the exact lows, didn't do shit after that, and then I bought ES at the exact fucking lows. Even on a bearish day, where SPY drops from 675 to 660, a 15-point move to the downside. I still managed to get in and get out towards the exact lows and sell the peak going fucking long. My system works in both ways. And now it's literally, dude, this futures trade is the most no-brainer trade you can make the whole fucking week. This shit does not get more easier and more simpler than this. And I gave bears the best level for fucking puts, man. Um, but yeah, in terms of the overall game plan last night, it wasn't the absolute most useful. I mean, if it went below 665 and you tried puts, that's great. But if you look during the futures hours trading session and put two and two together and said, dude, this is at the best level to go long, you bought like I did, most people probably weren't even fucking watching the market at 4:31 p.m. when the shit was closed. I was buying fucking ES at the exact lows, 6660. And if you look at ES, literally it fucking bottomed at what, 6654, right? So it's like these rare ass fucking opportunities. You have to watch the market like a fucking sniper and seize the moment. And this was all predetermined and pre-confirmed with the overall game plan to be buying at that fucking level. And look at this, man. We are already at 6685 on the fucking highs, man. This shit is already up 25 fucking points. Do you guys understand in terms of futures this year? I'm now up over 1,300 fucking points with a 100% success rate, not one single loss. That's why I'm telling you, like, literally the best thing you could fucking do, man. Like, literally, this is a fucking gold mine, this chart. There was a gap right here. It's already reversing towards a fucking gap with all this fucking upside potential. It's oversold as fuck for the micro. Like, dude, even if the shit pushed lower, it's got to bounce. And if it doesn't push lower, it's got to fucking bounce anyways. It's a fucking genius, fucking brilliant plan. If you guys weren't in on this futures trade, you genuinely fucked up. You don't know how to read the market. I gave you the blueprint. I gave you the game plan. If it's not playing out during normal trade hours and it's looking bullish in futures, get the fuck in on futures, dude. You think I'm gonna sit here when SPY hits our best, when SPY's at 675 and it goes to our best levels to buy calls, which was 658, 659, 660, 661, right? Our best fucking levels. You think I'm gonna sit here and stall if the market's just flat, dead, forming support, fucking green, red, green, break, retest, fucking green, red, green, higher support? You think I'm gonna sit here and fucking stall and wait till the next day? No, I'm in on fucking futures. This shit just keeps on ripping higher and fucking higher and higher and higher. If you use my game plan, you should have been on fucking futures before this fucking video was made. Before I posted this fucking trade at fucking 4:31 p.m., man. It is a 100% fucking success rate trading fucking futures. If you guys are fucking red, you're not trading the best setups at the best prices. And to trade the best setups at the best prices, the reality is, in terms of 2026, if you don't trade futures, you will miss out on the best plays, man. Look at this. There was no good buys today. My buy, was a good buy. But dude, you had to buy at the exact fucking lows and the trade worked out once. It was tough as fucking shit. I didn't expect anyone to fucking do what the fuck I did with the game plan that I put out last night. Maybe if someone had determined it reacts bearish and they try to put to 665 and they wanted to do that, by all means do it. But dude, this futures fucking shit, the market dropped 15 fucking points. It's oversold as fuck. It just tested all the best levels and just common fucking sense. We have all the fucking time in the world. What do you think's gonna happen? You don't think this is gonna fucking bounce when everyone's fucking asleep? Dude, common fucking sense. This shit's gonna rip the fuck up. That's why these best setups at the best prices, you need to get the fuck in on fucking futures, man. The true big bounce to go long was during fucking futures. And there's likely going to be another opportunity fucking tomorrow to do it during normal trade hours. But the point is, you could have already been in on the first one banked and then risk a small percentage of profits to get in on the next one during normal trade hours on fucking options. You guys are genuinely missing out on the best setups at the best fucking prices. Futures, I'm telling you, if you want fucking blueprint in the fucking cheat code, it's fucking futures. You have to learn this shit. You have to fucking trade this shit. You guys have to learn all of the systems within the market to trade the best setups, the best prices. The market isn't going to give us plays to go far out of the money every single day, but there is always plays to go in the money. There is always plays to go at the money or barely out of money and sell the money. They're always there. Now, that doesn't mean that it's always the right move to make that play, even though there is always plays to scalp in and fucking out, right? Because some days there's better plays to go further out of money, right? But there's multiple systems, and you guys have to be able to adapt and be aware of what systems are working best and what systems are in correlation with the best setups at the best prices. So, in terms of the overall game plan, right? I mean, dude, just put it this way. The biggest trade is expected to be this futures trade. When I take profits on this, I'm going to be risking very small portions of my overall profits. Like, dude, futures has been the biggest blessing of 2026. It's never been this simpler, this easier to just buy at night and sell the next day. I'm telling you, this shit is working 100% of the fucking time for me. And it's in full alignment with the best setups to the best prices, man. Some trades that we plan to make genuinely just happen during the futures. You know, it's not in my fucking control on if it's going to happen during futures or happen during normal train hours. But what is in my control is what the fuck I can do when it is happening. And if I see that shit happening and panning out, I'm sitting there saying, dude, this shit dropped 15 fucking points and we're sitting here for fucking hours during futures. This is a no fucking brainer to get the fuck in on calls. The fuck? If it flipped bearish, it's gonna flip back bullish. If it doesn't flip bearish, it's gonna be fucking bullish. And it's the best fucking entry to go fucking long that I said in the fucking videos. The fuck? Losing is genuinely a personal choice, man. You guys need to wake the fuck up and trade the best setups at the best fucking prices. If you are sleeping on fucking futures, you are choosing to sleep on part of the best setups at the best prices, and you're sleeping on such an easy, simple fucking system to buy and to fucking hold. Not a single fucking loss. Have I entered trades on futures this year that dropped 30, 40, 50 points against me? Yes. Did I hold them and they flipped green? Yes. Did I sell for profits? Yes, because I don't go green for red. Did I time a lot of trades with exact lows and they went up 50, 60 points and I sold towards the week? Yes. Futures is the absolute simplest, easiest, best trading overall style if you buy towards the night and sell into the next day, morning to middle of the day. I'm fucking telling you, man. The fuck? Where are you gonna get another fucking opportunity where SPY drops 15 fucking points and sits at our best fucking level with all of the fucking time in the world to fucking bounce? And we have 2 days left into the fucking week, even fucking more if you're in right now. Like, come on, guys. Come on. You can't name a better fucking play than this. You really fucking can't, man. If you guys didn't get on this, it pisses me the fuck off. It really fucking does, man. Shit really fucking pisses me the fuck off. That's what pisses me off the fucking most, dude. Fucking people who don't get in at the best setups and the best prices, and they choose to fucking sleep on the best setups, the best prices, man. There's no need to be chained to one fucking system. You want a system, adapt. Adapt to what the market is fucking doing. Have multiple systems and trade the system in terms of what the market and price action is fucking saying, man. If you just stick to one system within the market, there's going to be highs, there's going to be fucking lows. Now, obviously, long term, if that works out for you, that's great, you know? But if you guys stay adaptive and keep on focusing on the best setups at the best prices and keep on making the best trades with the overall systems, you know, sometimes with the system, the best thing is futures. Sometimes with the system, the best thing is closer to in the money. Sometimes with the system, the best thing is far of the money. You know, but at the end of the day, you really only need one system that works. And if you only choose one system, you know, you either adapt accordingly and go harder when everything's working out. And if it's not, you pull back, you could scale back a little bit, you could trade less, you know? But you have to be, it does help when you just trade one system to recognize when it's not time to use that fucking system, you know? And an indicator for that could be fucking losing streaks, price action is in alignment with the fucking systems, you know? If you don't adapt, you're gonna get back some gains. But having systems where you win big helps with that in terms of losing streaks and giving back gains. But I'm telling you, one of the best states to be within this market is to focus on the best setups, the best prices, align it with the best asset classes. Sometimes it's futures because that's when it's playing out. There's no other option. Sometimes it's options, and then with options, you got to identify, is it time to go closer to in the money or further out of the money, right? But obviously, if you go further out of the money, it's okay to be wrong and not have the highest win rate, because when that shit hits, it's fucking massive 1000% gains and you add to winners, right? Within the money, you know, the advantage to that is, you know, you have a simple system and there's always trades there. But you got to understand that sometimes it's just not the right move or the best thing to go in the fucking money. If it's a no brainer, obvious day to go further out of the money, you're better off doing that, right? But one of the advantages to going in the money is there's always a play and there is always, you know, a trade that you can look to make, right? One of the advantages to out of the money is it gives you bigger percentage gains and it allows you to take cheap, low risk and capitalize on much bigger gains within the market, you know, when it's setting up for bigger moves, right? And just because you have a system where bigger moves pan out doesn't mean the market's going to give you big moves all the time, right? So you guys have to adapt. That's what I encourage you to do. But I really encourage you to trade the best setups at the best prices. Stick to simple systems that work for you. If you're just going to use one system, know when to pull back, know when to not trade as much. And if you want, you could try adapting with another system. But like I said, some people have one system where that's all they do and they're fine, even if they go on losing streaks and stuff like that. Now, a system for that, I encourage big wins. And that's where far out of the money options really stand out. Because if you're losing and going on losing streaks with far out of the money options, in a good winning season, you make it all back and more, because the wins are so much bigger than the fucking L's. But there is ways to identify, if you're trading far money options, when to pull back within the market to avoid losses, and then it's your choice if you want to get into that with something closer into money or just sit out and trade that one system. And that's your choice, man. But you have to be able to identify and analyze what it is that you truly have within this market and how do you want to trade within this market. Do you want one system? Do you want an adaptive system where you have multiple systems and you trade focused on overall price action and adapt quickly like water? That's for something for you guys to fucking decide, man. But if you guys didn't take this futures trade, I would say fucking that's the most degenerate move you could have made this fucking week, dude. Like the shit did not get more easier or fucking simpler than this, man. My first trade in the day was calls at the lows. I literally bought futures at the lows. This shit is up over 28 fucking points now. Do you guys understand? By the time this video is posted, motherfuckers are going to be going to sleep. And then when I sell this, they're going to be waking up. And I'm going to be already green and done for the day. And then I'm just going to be risking a small portion of my fucking profits trading fucking options. Not that I don't even have to. Do you guys understand what futures with the system that I've created? You can walk away. You can start your day. You can make a quick trade when everyone's getting ready to go to sleep. You could hold it in your sleep, and then when everyone wakes up, before they wake up, you could sell it, and you could be done before they even started their day, dude. It's the ultimate glitch. And that's part of life is figuring out the fucking glitch. And Matrix is the fucking glitch. Look at this fucking shit. It's at 6688, man. The fuck? Like, I genuinely don't even care like when this fucking video gets posted. Because if people didn't buy during futures, they'd miss the fuck out. If they didn't buy they'd miss the fuck out. That shit was all in the fucking game plan to go long to buy there. It's just futures made it a million fucking times more easier and more fucking obvious. Like, guys, if that shit didn't click for you, when this shit was at that, with all the game plans and the shit I fucking posted, like, dude, you put two and two together, 674 to 660. Calls got wrecked all fucking day. It's at the best level for calls. SPY is just fucking sitting here. Don't you think it has to bounce first, even if it went lower? But it's happening during futures. It's not happening during the options trading session. Like, man, if you guys didn't go fucking long, like, that's fucked up. That's really fucked up, man. Like, the way I trade futures, it's going to wake a lot of motherfuckers up. They're going to say, dude, this guy has a 100% success rate. He's buying when people are getting ready to go to sleep. He's selling for massive profit before people wake up. And he could just walk away before everyone else even started their day. And he didn't even, like, it's not even a lot of work. Just getting in, holding the trade overnight, selling in the morning. You can literally get in before you sleep, or you can get in before you go the fuck out and live the nightlife. And then you could fucking go to sleep whenever the fuck you want, wake up in the morning and fucking sell it. And then if you want to go back to sleep, you could do whatever the fuck you want with this shit. It's fucking insane, man. Futures is fucking cracked. I'm telling you, it's the cheat code. But I'm telling you, what led me to getting into futures, it wasn't even the asset class. It wasn't even the asset class, the style of trading futures. It was the best setups at the best prices, And I remember as I was making my game plans, a lot of people would tell me, like, dude, your shit's working, but it keeps on playing out during fucking futures, you know? And I'm sitting here saying, well, fuck. They're right. A lot of this shit is playing out during fucking futures. And at the time, I was just focused on trading options. I'm sitting here saying, dude, my fucking game plans could be used during fucking futures. And sometimes the best setup at the best price plays out during futures. And we don't have a fucking choice. Like this situation, we had no fucking choice. We had no fucking choice. This was a trade where you had to just blindly buy and hold. You didn't even need a fucking confirmation. That's what this shit fucking was, man. And that's what futures is. This shit is hanging up on thin fucking air. We have all the fucking time in the world, dude. You don't think this shit is gonna fucking spike with all the fucking time we have? Like, guys, wake the fuck up, man. Fuck. So that's why I did that, man. Like, the reason why I keep on talking about this shit, because, dude, that's the highlight of my whole fucking, like, day. Like, I already won. I already won fucking tomorrow. I already fucking won, man. Like, my day is, like, already fucking done. but it's just not enough. You know, I try to be the absolute best. Like, I'm gonna keep on winning and make more trades, but fuck, that's gonna be hard to fucking top, man. It really fucking is. Because what makes the trade just so fucking genius is we have more time. We have so much time. We have so much time where if it drops lower, it's gonna fucking spike anyways. We have so much time where if it holds, it's gonna fucking spike. And it's at the best price to fucking buy, man. Like, fuck. If you guys didn't get in on that, you done fucked up. You really did. Because that was the best fucking trade this week to go fucking long. You think it's by accident on a day where SPY dropped 15 fucking points from my level for puts. My first trade, I bought the exact fucking lows. And then ES, I bought at the exact fucking lows, man. Fucking nobody is putting you on to this shit. In bearish fucking days, I'm buying calls at the exact fucking lows. This shit works on bullish days. This shit works on bearish days, man. The ultimate cheat code in this market and easy free money is futures. It's all in fucking futures. So, in terms of the game plan tomorrow, for those of you who stayed this long, is going to be very simple. The most likely outcome is, in terms of the daily chart, you go to the daily chart and you're going to see that, you know, if we look at this overall pattern, let's take a look, right? So you got this like upside down U, upside down V type of pattern. So you can see right here, same pattern, upside down U. So what it does is it tends to bottom out towards the double bottom, bottoming out towards the double bottom. And then within some time, it starts to retrace back up, right? So the most likely outcome is SPY gaps up, has a little gap and go, and then it gives back some gains, not necessarily closing strongest at the highs, meaning there's going to be opportunities for calls, opportunities for puts. The best opportunity to go long appears to be futures, you know, because it was literally the exact lows, free money all the time in the world. It's just, dude, the cheat code with futures now was just the time. I'm telling you, like, it wasn't just the entry, it was the entry with the time. We had the best entry in all of the fucking time in the world. Do you really think the market's just gonna keep on fucking flushing and flushing and flushing after that fucking move at the best setup after a 15 fucking drop at the best setup of its price? I told you guys the best thing you could do in the fucking market was to buy oversold fucking dips, man. And a lot of those fucking dips, look at the fucking chart, man. You see all this gray? This is fucking future. Look. This is futures. You see the gray? Look at this. It bottoms at the gray. You could have bought right here. You could have bought right here. Oh my God, massive fucking sell off. It dropped 10 points. Look, the same day it rips back up and pushes fucking higher. We killed it on that fucking play. Look at this, man. The biggest drops in the biggest spikes have been happening during futures. Look at this. It bottoms during futures, massive pump. 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 Bottoms during futures, Matt. Dude, wake the fuck up. If you guys aren't trading fucking futures, you are fucked. You are not trading the best setups of its prices. You are not fucking adapting. Part of fucking trading is to adapt. You know, if you guys just have one simple system, you got to understand that sometimes that system's not going to be working out. Sometimes that's not the best thing to be doing in the market. And if you're just going to solely train that one fucking system, you have to be responsible enough to be aware and conscious of when to pull back on your system, when to sit out. You know, you don't have to go off and trade other systems. You don't have to adapt in terms of, okay, I'm going to trade in the money options. Okay, I'm going to trade futures now, right? You don't have to do all that, but you should have a better understanding on when to pull back, when to sit out, so you can avoid losses and avoid losing streaks and just avoid on doing what's wrong. And in terms of what's doing what's wrong is trading a system within the overall market where it's just not time to be trading that overall system, even if you could stomach those losses and stomach, you know, doing that, right? But if someone, you know, has a system that works and it's just not time to be using that system within the market and they just keep on going at it, going at it, going at it, poking the fucking bear, then, you know, why? Why? Do they not have the awareness to pull back? Are they not conscious enough to see that now is just not the time? Like, I get it. Massive wins, big wins. It doesn't matter if you have losses, losing streaks, you can afford, you know, losing cycles, losing seasons. I fucking get it. Every system's different. You know, for the systems that give you the biggest wins, that's when you can kind of fuck up the most in a sense. The bigger the wins, the more mistakes you can make, you know? As long as you're keeping L's light and small, like, yeah, you can just keep on, you know, poking at the market and keep on fucking up and keep going fucking red. Like, I get it, right? But it is good to have a better understanding on when to pull back with your system. And if you're going to pull back on your system, you can sit out. That's fine. If you want to adapt and trade other systems, instead of far the money options, in the money options, futures. But dude, one thing I will say is this: in terms of my overall style of trading, I will say that I don't solely rely on one asset class. What I do is, in terms of my foundation, I like to keep an educational structure that's in alignment within my intuition, right? Within my frequency, within the market, right? And I like to keep that foundational base instead of just going off of instincts and intuition, right? Of education, which is what I would say is the best setups at the best prices of my foundation. And then since I know what the best setup at the best price is, then I try to align that with my intuition, with the patterns, with the confirmation, with history repeating itself, with I feel like I traded this day before, stuff like that, right? But sometimes the best setups at the best prices end up playing out during different times. Sometimes it's during the options market. Sometimes it's during the futures hours market, like today. Sometimes it's during and then sometimes it's just different asset classes. Sometimes price action is just shit, moves aren't as big, so go closer into the money. Sometimes you can tell that it's just setting up for bigger moves, try go further out of the money, right? So me personally, I like to be a bit more adaptive with asset classes. Sometimes I go closer in the money, but still out of the money. So basically barely out of money or at the money, and then sometimes I go a little bit further out, right? And then best setups at best prices. Sometimes I have to get in on futures. In terms of this year, on average, I've been making 2 futures trades for this year, for this every single week this year. This week, I made 3. Dude, just look at how many opportunities since March 9th. One, two, fucking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, fucking 8. Dude, 8 future play opportunities since March fucking 9th. Fuck. We are fucking cracked, guys. If you are not trading futures in a market where it's bouncing every single time at oversold levels, dude, this shit is free fucking money. Did you really think when SPY was just sitting at our best levels after getting destroyed all fucking day, that this would keep on going lower? And even if it did, you don't think it's gonna recover? Like, dude, even if SPY did some shit like this, where it just had a massive fucking quick drop after, dude, look, this shit just fucking recovers and goes fucking higher. The fuck? You'd have to be an absolute fucking degenerate to not have taken advantage of that game plan to be going long. You know, this is why you guys need to get in on futures, because if you just analyze the market at the best setups, the best prices, all of the oversold dip plays have been playing out during futures. If you wanted to buy at the exact lows with the biggest upside potential, a lot of those opportunities with the best set of those prices have been during futures. And it literally happens a lot of the time at night when everyone's sleeping and then profit taking into the morning spike into the middle of the day. It's like you don't have to do shit. It's like the vast majority of the time of the trade is just the planning. And the planning is very quick, very simple, stuff like that. Another thing with futures is with futures, I feel very comfortable holding trades. I feel a lot more comfortable and confident holding those fucking trades, dude. Because I'm looking at this shit, I'm saying, we have all the time in the world, and this shit just feels like air, where it just fucking inflates like fucking crazy for hours. Like with futures, it's usually not just like a quick spike and then it fucking sells off. Like, dude, look at this. These are clean moves to the upside. You could just hold this shit. Like, the only problem you're gonna have with futures is selling the fucking peak. There's so much upside potential, and it's very, very clean. And even when this shit drops lower than your entry, it just comes back to fucking life, man. I'm telling you, futures is the fucking jailbreak, dude. The more I hold, the more I talk about this shit. Look, it just keeps on going higher. I'm at 6,660. This shit is up 32 fucking points now, dude. 32 fucking points, man. Our fucking team is gonna be up over 30 fucking points before the market's fucking open on this fucking trade. We're making the biggest fucking futures trades before the market's even fucking open, man. Nobody's fucking doing this. Nobody's fucking doing this. I'm using my game plans on options to trade fucking futures, and it's in full line with everything I'm fucking saying. Break and retest, gap close, reversal. But look, this is the main game plan for tomorrow. For those of you who stay to the end, I'm gonna get quickly into it. Um, you know, look at the daily chart. The daily chart, like I said, is bullish, right? So this is the pattern. Upside down VU, upside down VU. Where does it bottom? It bottoms right here, red middle, double bottom, triple bottom, red middle, as you can see right here, double bottom, bottoms right, then it starts to explode back up, then it starts to explode back up, break and retest higher support, right? Market's already gapping up. So what you need to understand is this. Market's bullish for the short term. Market's gapping up. Number one focus tomorrow is to buy calls at our lower levels with confirmations. Use the pattern that I explained to you earlier in this video. And also, we are interested in buying puts. Realistically, the market could drop into the middle of the day, into the close at key levels for puts. So let's get into it. So, in terms of our levels for calls, right? These are going to be our new levels for calls, right? So heading into tomorrow, this is going to be one of your best levels for calls right here. This extended hours break and retest channel that has not been tested during normal trading hours. So it's going to be right here around 661 mid. Also, this key support that has not been tested, 659, right? So the SPY bottomed out our buy zone, had a very strong move to the upside, right? So the best play on calls was during the futures hours trading session where we bought ES towards the exact lows. Dude, I was looking at this fucking chart and I was saying, oh my gosh, the rarity of this fucking play. The play was rare when I bought ES at fucking 4:31 p.m. That's something I never do, but you don't see fucking FOMC frequently, right? So I'm sitting here saying, dude, this shit's at 660 with bullish confirmations at fucking 4:30. I'm sitting here saying, dude, I have all the time on the fucking planet for this motherfucker to fucking bounce. You'd have to be an absolute fucking degenerate to sleep on a fucking play like this. Man, it was just such a no-brainer to get in on that fucking play. So, anyways, man, if you missed out on that, like I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. You're genuinely asleep. You really like wake the fuck up, guys. I get it. Some people could say like we're living in a matrix, but just because you're in the matrix doesn't mean you have to like actually be in it. You can walk out of the matrix and still be around it. Like, wake the fuck up, man. It's unlimited fucking winning and unlimited fucking printing every single fucking day, man. I don't know any motherfucker who's buying calls the exact lows, not getting fucking wiped out on a day where SPY drops 15 fucking points, man. I can assure you the vast majority of the people probably thought that I did fucking shit today. I literally, my first trade, I bought the exact lows and sold the fucking peaks. The second trade was a dud, got out quickly. It's a good thing I got out because that shit went to zero. Doesn't really fucking matter because I was already green as fuck and I don't risk going green to red. I fucking quadrupled my gains on the last one. And in this trade, I bought the exact lows, fucking green as fuck. It's gonna be the biggest home run fucking trade of the fucking day, man. Fuck. The day isn't even fucking over yet, and I'm still fucking winning while everyone else is still fucking sleeping. Because losing's a choice, you know? A sleep schedule is a choice, you know? When you decide to wake up and you decide to go to sleep, that's all a fucking choice. Everyone can have their fucking schedules and on what they need to do and when they need to do it. But at the end of the day, when they decide to fucking sleep and when they decide to wake up, it's all a fucking choice, dude. You can create systems. This is passive income. You think I'm sitting here watching this shit? The only thing I'm fucking doing is fucking I'm doing nothing. I'm just watching this shit just going up and up and up. What's the urgency to sell? Oh my gosh, hold on. There's so much urgency to fucking sell, dude. I'm looking at this fucking chart and I'm saying, where is the urgency for me to sell this trade? Like, I'm looking at this fucking chart and I'm saying, wow, this is where it bottomed. This is the upside potential. Like, I don't feel any fucking urgency to sell. I don't feel like anything. Like, what the fuck do I have to worry about? You know? It's not like this shit is fucking 0 to 8 fucking like options fucking time this shit fucking perfectly. All this shit should we go in the money, should we go out? What the fuck do I have to worry about? I'm in on fucking futures. This is inflated fucking air with unlimited upside fucking potential. We were just at 670 fucking 5. What the fuck do I have to fucking worry about? This shit just keeps on fucking going up. The fuck? Enter the best trades with unlimited fucking upside. The only problem you're gonna have is, well, fuck, it just keeps on going up. When the fuck do I sell? Like, that's the only fucking problem you're gonna have is when to fucking sell, not when to enter. How much fucking gains you're gonna fucking make. Fuck. So, calls 659, 661, 663. That's a break and retest level. Let's see. Make or break 665. Okay, so look, these are some drop zones. Since we did take out 665, this is a break and retest zone. So look, if the market starts to drop, if the market reacts a little bit bearish here, you can try to scalp a quick put. Be extremely careful. And the reason why I say be extremely careful is because this is a big upside potential level. It should be able to try to drop first, even if it pushes higher. So if you get in, you get out on a put towards 665, should be able to profit on that. But just be fucking careful. Try to use a red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation just to understand there's a fuck ton of upside, right? But if we top at 665, then we're dropping back down to, 662, 663 for another bounce, right? If we break above 665 here, let's disable extended hours real quick and see. So da 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 da. We break above 665. That sends us to the gap fill range, 669.70 to 670.55. So for all of you who are looking for the levels for puts, these are your best levels for puts. Your absolute best level heading into the rest of this week is going to be at our previous level for puts, where I told you to buy fucking puts at 674. I don't know another fucking person on this planet who told you to buy puts at 674. That was my first level, to buy puts at our higher levels, right? I literally got you in the exact peak. And I'm someone who's just been buying calls at the exact lows on bullish or bearish fucking days. I still managed to get you in at the exact peak, dude, leading the right direction. Made it very clear I was going to sit out of FOMC, likely do nothing. Also made it very clear if we go below 665, it was bearish. But anyone with simple pattern recognition should have identified that, okay, this reacted bearish to the previous day highs. And if it does that, it goes back to the lows, right? And all it was doing was just reacting bearish. Red, double green, red, red, green, red, lower highs. Like, I genuinely don't understand how anyone could have gotten trapped on calls today. I really don't see it, because all the market did was top of previous day highs, go below previous day lows, and then it just kept on forming lower highs. Red, double green, red, all these lower highs, red, double green, red, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs for hours, turning previous support into resistance, turning previous support into resistance, and then just this bearish downtrend. It was literally the same fucking pattern that it previously fucking did. Anyone with just simple pattern trend recognition on the 30-minute chart would have simply said it was doing the exact same thing that it previously did to fucking sell off and to fucking crash. The red double green red pattern and the red green red and just all the lower highs. You know, there really wasn't any strong signals to be going long and buying calls overall. And it wasn't at the overall best levels to be going long, right? So, anyways, um, you know, in terms of puts, this is where you can keep your eyes on. So this is a quick scout. Be a little bit careful. But this right here, market will try to reject first. Eyes on puts, right? And then you know, oh yeah, this is fucking 673.50 to 672, 675 zone. And then let's go to the gap. So in terms of the gap, we now have a gap to fill since SPY gap down, which also means that it was kind of considered bearish with the gap down, right? We were mainly interested in calls if it gapped up. If it gaps down and then forms lower highs and goes below 665, then it's a bearish day to come back down to fill this gap. And then it reversed at this gap towards 662, right? So on the futures play, I literally bought into a gap close reversal, right? But anyways, we have a gap to fill at 673. So this is going to be another level for puts, right? So those are all your levels for puts. In terms of what SPY is doing right now, it's bouncing on our levels where I told you to buy calls. If the market goes below 665, the play already played out. You missed the fuck out if you didn't trade on fucking futures. Losing is a personal choice. Trading the best setups at the best price is a personal choice. When you trade the asset class that's in alignment with the time and price action of that overall trade, SPY's having a gap close reversal right here, and it's trying to retest back to 665, and then from there, we'll try to reject, and then from there, it's a battle between bullish or bearish, but either way, the market is going to try to drop likely into the close, right? So, you know, I do like the idea of potentially puts into the close or into the middle of the day on just the double top rejection at one of our levels, which could be 665. Um, 670 and wherever the fuck, the other level, 665, 666, 670, amazing level for puts. This is a fucking gold mine level for puts, 670, 673 to 675. So look, these are all of our levels for puts, 665, 666. Got to be a little bit careful on that one. It could reject first and then just sell off, or it could reject first and then push higher, right? It's a battle level. But if it does reject first, we go here and then we bounce first, then we battle again, bounce for 661, 662, and then we battle again, right? So puts, puts, calls, calls. If the market rejects this, right, drops, pushes higher, you can try a quick call on a break and retest, but be careful with that. We're really looking for calls at our lower levels. Another level for calls that's pretty decent is right here, 663.50, right? So calls, drop first. It could push higher. If it does push higher after dropping, you could try a quick call, right? It's likely going to reject first. You could try a quick put, just be a little bit careful. Be a little bit careful with this overall level. It's going to be a massive level that determines a move to 670 or back to 662. It will try to reject first regardless. It's a break and retest level. If it breaks above after rejecting, then we push back up to 669 to 670. Puts. So that is the fucking game plan. Now, use confirmations, use the most likely outcomes, right? Most likely outcome is we kind of gravitate back towards here, pull back, bottom at break and retest, battle from there, and then double tops, triple tops, middle of the day into the close, look for puts towards our key levels. If the market's reacting bearish, red, green, red bearish rejections, resistance, right? It's not necessarily looking like the strongest bullish of close. It could give back some gains, but you just got to be a little bit careful. Use the best confirmations. If you're trading puts at the higher levels, I think you'll be fine in and out. If you're trading calls at the lower levels, I think you'll be fine in and out. If you're trading towards make or break, be a little bit careful, be meticulous, and use those confirmations definitely. Um, but yeah, man, overall, like this shit, like, dude, this pattern is fucking deadly, man. This shit looks like a fucking spike and sell off, spike, sell off. But yeah, that 664, 665 zone is gonna try to reject first. So I already know my profit targets for futures, dude. I'm already up so much on this fucking trade. Like, I'll hold some. Like, I'm already getting ready to lock in some profits, and then I'll just leave some runners. Like, I'm fucking good, man. These 30-point moves, they add up to a fuck ton. They really do, especially when you just never lose and just keep compounding your account. Like, losing is genuinely a personal choice. I just don't understand how someone could be red in the group if they just traded futures, because every single trade that I made on ES this year was a win, and I can't name a single other fucking person on this planet who could say they have a 100% success rate trading futures, and the vast majority of the trades have been swing trades where I get in when everyone's getting ready to go to sleep, and then I get out when everyone's getting ready to wake up. It's like a free money, passive income, unlimited fuck you money fucking system at the best setups at the best prices. Like I said, as I was making my game plans, I literally had people commenting, like telling me, like, dude, your shit keeps playing out during futures, and you're talking about options. Like, it really gave me the realization of, like, fuck, I need to get in on this future shit because these motherfuckers are right. My best setups and my best prices kept playing out during futures. So I adapted. That's what I did. Like, I understood I had a best setup at a best price. I had a system that works with options, but I understood, like, dude, my foundation is the best setup at the best price. I'm not tied to an asset class. If my shit's playing out during a time where you can't trade zero options, I could trade another asset class and learn that system. And that's exactly what I did. And it's working 100% of the fucking time. And I found it to be the easiest thing to do is just to buy and hold ES. You don't have to stress or worry about shit. You know, Obviously, if you're using a prop firm and they stop you out, that's on you, dude. We don't use stop losses. The fuck? If I'm up 1,300 points this year, do you think I'm going to be sweating if ES drops 50 points against me? No. And even if it does, the shit recovers every single time. And if it doesn't, okay, I take a bigger loss than usual, but I don't have any fucking losses to begin with on ES. And all the wins are fucking massive. Losing's genuinely a personal fucking choice, man. You trade with real money, you don't have to worry about this fucking stop loss shit. If you trade with a prop firm, then you got to worry about fucking rules, restrictions. Oh, fucking, did I get stopped out? I'm nervous. Like, it's fucking degeneracy. But, anyways, man, futures is part of the cheat code. But you got to remember what creates the cheat code. It all starts with the best setup at the best prices. And then from there, okay, is the best setup at the best price playing out during normal trade hour session or extended hours? Now you have an idea of what asset class to be using. And if it's during normal trade hours, do I go in the money or do I go further out of the money? Right? So yeah, if you go in the money, you can always just make trades. If you go out of the money, you have to be very strategic on when to do that, right? But if you always go in the money and you're blind to the idea of just going in the money, you're going to miss out on crazy gains when it's time to go out of the money? And if you always go out of the money and you're blind to the idea that it's not time to go out of the money, then you'll be giving back some gains. So it's all things to think about. Awareness, knowing when to step in, knowing when to step out, knowing when to adapt, and how you adapt as a choice. You don't have to switch, you don't have to trade multiple asset classes, but you should adapt and adjust accordingly within market conditions and market price action, and do what's best for your overall situation with that. So that's the game plan. That's exactly what we ended up doing. We absolutely fucking crushed it, man. It's unlimited fucking printing and unlimited fucking winning. I just don't know another single fucking person who bought calls at the exact lows today and then bought yes at the exact lows. It's like, dude, I'm leading the absolute best fucking direction, even on a bearish day. Do you know how many people likely lost money going long today? I was not one of those people because I sat out during FOMC. I bought ES at the best levels. Game plan said going to 665. We're going down to the best levels. So I bought it at the best fucking levels. I did calls here. It was towards exact lows, got out at the peak, and then I got back in here, sold it quick, cut the L quick. You know, it didn't make sense to hold calls because I realized the market was forming lower highs, forming bearish signals, and it wasn't moving. That's another thing, guys. If contracts are high, you know, especially due to FOMC, contracts were very high. I was literally trading like barely out of the money at the money, and I was paying 200 cents. And I'm sitting here saying, dude, I just got in at 180. This shit ramped up to 250. Very nice win, quadrupled my ads, amazing gain. And then I got back in a little bit after that because it looked bullish and I thought it was going to go to 669. And it didn't work out like the first time. It was just dead. It just kept on going up and kept on dropping back down to my initial entry. And it just kept on hanging around my strike. And I'm sitting here saying, dude, this is taking too long. And I'm paying at high fucking prices. So I'm sitting here saying, if anything, I could just get in, get out, small win, small loss, and then just get back in instead of holding, dealing with this decay, dealing with this frustration, dealing with this high price of like, dude, the more time goes on, this price is going to get lower, even if it's sitting at my fucking price. And I didn't like the way it was moving. And I said, dude, I just had a Boehner trade. Like, fuck this. I'm fucking out. And I cut the L very, very quickly. The L was so small, it couldn't even stand next to my win. You know, when you buy at the exact lows and sell towards the peak, it keeps your wins a lot bigger when you cut your wins quick. And I normally don't even do that. I normally don't cut my wins so quick. But in this particular situation, I just identified that the price action was absolutely horrific. I was already paying at high prices and the shit was dangling at my strike with no fucking momentum and deadness. So I'm sitting here saying, dude, since I didn't go far out of the money and the shit's just sitting here, I could just get out. And then if I want, I could just get back in when things pick up, you know, and just experience a dud, a small win, a small loss, not even a scratch compared to my wins. You know, that's one of the advantages to going closer in the money at the times. It gives you the control and access of just getting out of a trade quickly. If you don't like price action, you get in, you get out, small win, small loss, you know? So I will say if you're trading like in the money, it could be a little bit more reliant on timing, you know? Because if you hold, that shit can fucking it's like you're holding something that's just gonna keep on fucking decaying quickly because you're paying more. You know, you gotta be careful with holding something that's in the money or out of the money, especially when price is dead. But if you're close to it, you can just get in and get out. If you buy something extremely far out of the money and don't time it right, it's going to be a big fucking L quick. Within the money options, it's not. It gives you time, and as long as it's hanging around your strike and your entry, it's not going to be that big of a hit. Obviously, it's going to decay, but it gives you the ability to just get in and out quickly to get back in if you want to. You know, it does rely on more timing, in that sense. But if the market's just dead, you can get out. If you buy a far the money option, you can't really get out, dude. If you buy a far the money option and the market dies, like that shit's dropping 50% quick. There's no point in selling when it drops 50% like that. Like you just get buying extremely far out doesn't give you the ability to just get in, get out like that. It's like if you don't time it right, the shit goes down like 50% of the speed of fucking light. Um, but again, far the money options are designed to trade differently. It's just when the market isn't doing shit, that's the worst time to be buying far the money options. You know, they're designed for big moves, cheap, low risk plays. You know, if you're going fucking 5, 10 points out of the money on slow ass fucking days, you're setting yourself up for fucking failure. Like you really are for the overall day. Not that that system doesn't work long term, even if you do that. But you know, part of trading is adopting. No matter how win you big, no matter how good you are, it's adapting. If it's not time to do something, do it less or don't do it at all. You know, part of trading is to adapt. And you don't have to adapt as far as like, let's trade a different system, let's trade different asset class. Like, dude, the only reason I started trading futures it had nothing to do with the asset class. Like I could give a fuck. It was the trades. It was the best setup at the best prices. I realized like, dude, all of the best plays, some of the best plays have been playing outdoor in futures, and I'm sitting here saying this is fucking brilliant. Like you could just buy at night, sell the next day. It's literally the best way to fucking swing trade. It's a fucking gold mine. So yeah, we already banked. Don't go chasing this shit. If you missed out, full fucking degenerate. No, no, no words to say, dude. We've been waiting to buy at these levels for a fuck ton of time. If you didn't think we were gonna be buying here, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking, dude. This shit went from 675 all the way to 660. You don't think I'm gonna be going on at 4:30 p.m. with the realization of like, wait a second, we have all the time in the world, and the market's just sitting at the best level to go long. Don't you think the most logical outcome would be a bounce? even if it went lower, to eventually bounce. And if it didn't go lower, to just keep fucking bouncing. Like, guys, futures is the cheat code to timing in the best entries. Like, it's just the most logical thing. Like, even people who are like diehard fucking bears, like, how much of a degenerate could you be to not think that the market wasn't going to bounce first after this massive fucking 15-point drop? Like, guys, put two and two together. Like, look at this. There's levels during extended hours at 675 to be tested during normal trading hours. We hit our best fucking levels with all the fucking time in the world to buy the dip. You don't think it's going to start to gravitate back towards these extended hours levels? Like, what the fuck do you think was going to happen? What did you think this gonna happen? You think we needed to like go back further to fucking where does this shit go under 657? Do you think we actually needed to go back and see where the market bottoms after 657? Like, dude, the fuck? Like, what do you guys think? You think the market's just over? You think this is gonna be like once in a blue moon lifetime where it just fucking sells off to fucking straight to 600 like that? Like what the fuck? Like, man, motherfuckers need to wake the fuck up, dude. What did you think? You're just gonna go fucking like, well, you thought 659 was gonna crash, and then it goes right here to 650, dude. Even if it dropped to 650, it would have went back to 660, and then it would have likely pushed higher. The fuck? Like, it was just free money. Some plays are just like in certain situations, the overall trend is just bullish. So even if it drops a fuck ton, it doesn't matter because it's gonna recover and go higher anyways. It's like free fucking money. It's like if we bought at 660 and it did drop to 650, it's just set up in a way where it's still gonna go to 665 plus. So the drop is like a free money glitch to just buy and fucking hold and fucking add. That's what the shit is. It was just an overall trend recognition move, man. Like, fuck. It doesn't get more easier and more simpler than puts and then futures. If someone wants to trade the best setup at the best prices, I would tell them to add futures into their system. If someone wants to swing trade, I would tell them to trade futures. If someone is losing fucking money in the market, I would tell them to trade futures. It's like, dude, this is the simplest, easiest thing you can do, and you can make money in your fucking sleep. I genuinely don't understand why people wouldn't be trading futures. Like, do you guys not like money? Is that what it is? Do you not like to make money in your fucking sleep? It's like an autopilot fucking fuck you, unlimited money printing fucking system. It's like, dude, some plays are so good and so obvious and so like free fuck you money. It doesn't get easy than futures, dude. Like that's the in terms of like free unlimited fuck you money, like just buying fucking air and unlimited upside potential. Like, dude, this shit is just so fucking obvious. Like, dude, even if the shit drops, it's gonna push fucking air. Like, I feel comfortable as fuck holding this. Like, dude, futures. It's the ultimate cheat code. If you're not trading futures, you are genuinely choosing to sleep on the easiest way to trade the best setups at the best prices. The market isn't about sitting here and trying to create the hardest system. It's about creating easy systems with high risk to reward ratios to trade the best setups at the best prices to make the biggest fucking gains. That's what this shit's about. Creating systems with high risk to reward ratios, creating systems with unlimited gains that print and make unlimited fuck you money. Like, dude, I really am disappointed, and I genuinely think it's shameful if people didn't get it on that play. Because like, how many times can we sit here and say SPY dropped 15 points, it hit our best level at 4:30 p.m., and there's all the time in the world for futures for it to spike, and even if it goes lower, it's likely going to bounce higher anyways. Like, it's just unlimited fuck you money. It genuinely is shameful and embarrassing if someone trades futures and they didn't buy where we buy. I would say it's fucking disgraceful to not trade the best setups of those prices. Like, dude, just just look at the chart and just see every time it hits an oversold dip, all the lows and all the best spikes were doing futures. And this was the most oversold, best fucking overreaction to the downside. Like, dude, this was unlimited free fuck you money. This was a type of fuck you play where it's like, if you guys want to stand by, like, I need my best trades to be in alignment with my next best trades, it's going to be hard to top this shit tomorrow. Like, just in terms of, I'm telling you, what just made it so perfect, it wasn't even an entry thing. It was all about timing, dude. It was all about timing. This play was solely what made it genius was the timing. I'm telling you, the jailbreak, the glitch to escape the matrix, this system is timing. That's what this shit is. It's like the market got fucked. We have all the time in the world to bounce, and it's sitting at the best level. What do you think it's going to do? If it goes lower, don't you think it's going to recover during futures anyways? If it doesn't go lower, don't you think it's going to bounce during futures anyways? It's unlimited upside potential. I'm telling you, this is true fucking genius, man. It's just the fact that we had all the time in the world for this to recover if it went lower, or for it to bounce if it went higher. Like, we had so much time. Time with the best entries is an unstoppable fucking force. The less time you have, the more you have to rely on it actually doing what the fuck you want it to do. You know, if I have all the time in the world, dude, I could give a fuck. In a play like this, if I have all the time in the world, if SPY dropped to 650 and dropped 10 points, I would be sitting here saying, fuck, I need to buy more. I need to even average my cost down. Or when it recovers, just fucking add into the win or do both. I'm sitting here saying, dude, we have all the time in the world to either recover and push higher or just bottom and push higher. That's how I see this shit. It's the ultimate fucking jailbreak. Fuck. If you guys aren't in on this future shit, I would genuinely question what the fuck it is that you're doing because, like, you know the ironic part for all the people trading far the money options. If you looked at the moves within the market, the best plays were during extended hours. Like the far out of the money, in terms of like far out of the money price action, it was all during extended hours. It's fucking insane. Like, for those of you who trade far the money options, if you put things into perspective as of recently, all of the crazy big moves where far out of the money options would have printed like fucking crazy. The vast majority of them all happened during extended hours. So it's kind of ironic of how, like, the price action and the moves that were built for far out of money options aren't happening during normal trading hours as of recently, and they're all happening during the futures hour session. So if people would just move their fucking skill set of, like, so obviously, like, if you trade far out of money options, you know what you're looking for. You're looking and you're playing for the big moves. So if you just analyzed futures and extended hours market and you put two and two together and said, wait a second, these massive moves are playing out during futures all the time as of recently. In the smaller moves are playing out during normal trading hours, which means far the money options are going to get fucked and you have to go closer in the money or barely out of the money, right? So if they would have just like switched and fucking started buying fucking futures, they would have made a fuck ton of money instead of losing money in far the money fucking options. And if they would just traded fucking futures, they could have just blew a fuck ton of money on fucking far the money options and not even fucking noticed it. Because we don't go green to red, dude. With this fucking trade that I made, no matter what the fuck I do tomorrow, I'm gonna be green as fuck. And tomorrow hasn't even fucking started. By the time I post this video, we're already in massive profits and motherfuckers are already fucking sleeping. And then people wonder why they're fucking mad at me. They're fucking mad at me because I'm already winning as they're in their sleep. I'm making fucking money. When they wake up, I'm already green enough to walk the fuck away, but I choose to keep on going because that's just genuinely who I am, you know? But it just becomes harder and harder to keep going if I'm going to hold my next trade up and try to make it as good as my last one, because that means I got to trade the best setup for the best prices, which don't come around often, dude. Like, I'm telling you, the rarity of this play, it's not even an entry thing. Like, I get it. It's like a blind entry where we can just enter, but I want you to understand the genuine genius of this trade. Like, yeah, the foundation was the entry, but without the time, dude, I'm telling you, the earlier I entered that trade on futures, the fucking better. Think about it. I got in so early at the best entry, 4:30 p.m. The earlier I get in, the more it can drop, the more time it has to recover. And if it just bottoms, it's just going to go straight the fuck up. So either way, I'm going to win because it's going to either bounce first or it's just going to crash and recover either way. And I have all the time in the world. Time buys you profits. You know, that's what it fucking buys you. I'm sitting here and look at this situation like, dude, if this shit went lower, I should just be either adding or holding with confidence and then adding when there's more confirmations into the winner. Either just adding into the L or once it flips green, adding into the fucking winner, both. Like, I'm sitting here saying, like if this shit went lower, It's just a gift to be holding because there's more upside than downside. And it's just one of those situations where if it did have a big quick drop, it's just gonna fucking recover anyways. So if something's destined to go higher and you hold it and you have a system that allows you to hold it, does it really fucking matter if you didn't buy the exact bottom? If anything, it going lower allows you to average your cost down, which makes you more money, or it just puts you more time into the trade. And once it's confirmed more bullish, you could just add into the wins. You know, certain trades it makes sense to add to the losers. But if anything, it's just a situation where even if it dropped, it's just like a fake quick scalp against the overall trend. And if you're trading for the overall trend, what the fuck does it matter if you didn't time it accurately? It only matters if you're using a prop firm and they stop you out. It only matters if you're using a stop loss and you get stopped out. But if you hold a loser and the most you risk is your max risk per trade and you allow it to just you allow it to just literally go to fucking zero, it's like you could just hold this shit till fucking infinity, dude. Like, you think if this shit dropped 100 points, I'd be sweating? I'd be sitting here saying, dude, I'm up over 1,300 points this year. Who gives a fuck? If it drops 100, it's gonna spike 50 very quickly, anyways. Like the fuck, like what do you guys think this is? Like, yeah, every once blue and moon, crazy shit happens. You think that's gonna wipe me out with the profits and compounding and make roll that we fucking have? It's not even gonna fucking touch us. It gets to a point in the market where you make so much fucking money. This shit is literally numbers. Like, what the fuck am I gonna buy? What the fuck am I literally gonna buy that's better than like what I really like for real? It's all just fucking materialistic shit. Just fucking stat. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, I'm fucking set for the rest of my fucking life. This is unlimited fucking winning and unlimited fucking printing. You guys genuinely need to get with the system. If you're not trading, if dude, it just blows my mind how someone would trade farther money options. And then all of the moves that they want to happen farther money options are happening during extended hours. And they're not trading futures. Like, what the fuck are they doing? And it's easier to trade futures. If you trade futures, you actually see, like, dude, I'm telling you, I'm someone like, holding for me, like a lot of my option trades, when I hold them, they flip red. I'll be up like 50%, 100%, they flip red. That's why I set profit stops. That's why I sell into the gains. That's why at times I don't aim for the biggest winners. That's why I don't go extremely far the money at times. That's just how it tends to work for me. It could be different at times. Um, you know, but for fucking futures, oh my gosh. I always hold my futures trades for the longest periods of time. It's just so fucking easy. Like, man, it really is, and if you just study what's been going on, all of the big easy moves that far limiting option traders wanted all happened during futures. Like, dude, look at this shit. Like, look at this bottom. It's like, look at this shit. Some people might say, like, wow, this was a great move during the normal hour trading session to buy right here. Wow, it's a big ass spike. But look, if you would have gotten in right here and held that shit, like, fucking perspective, man. Look at that shit. Risk to reward. Buy low, sell fucking high, and limited fucking upside fucking potential. Don't you think you guys would feel a lot more comfortable buying at the lows and holding versus buying right here and fucking holding? Like, dude, this shit is like if you buy here, look, that's your downside potential. If you bought the bottom, it's unlimited fucking upside. And if it went below the bottom, it's likely gonna recover anyways. Like, shit is common fucking sense, man. Like, guys, futures is the ultimate cheat code. And go back and study the market. The biggest moves have been panning out during futures. Every single week, there's 2 to 3 trades during the nightly session on futures. You can get in when everyone's asleep. You can get out when everyone wakes up. You can literally go to sleep and tell the whole world, I'm gonna make more money than everyone fucking else in their fucking sleep. And then when you wake up, you can tell the whole world I'm done for the day. And like you didn't even work. All of your work that you put all dude, all my work that I put into the shit that you're seeing, it's already done. Do you understand? I'm already sealed. I have the skill set, I have the experience as a professional where everything that I'm doing, I've done it before. Like, it's automatic. It's not like I'm driving a car for the first time and I have to think about what it is that I'm doing and learn all this shit. It's like when you know what you're doing and you drive the car, you just drive the car. It's autopilot, right? You don't think about shit because you know what to do, right? It's like, dude, this is autopilot. This is passive income. This is like very little effort, very little work. But to get to this level, it cost and took every fucking thing. It really did. But once you have it and once it's autopilot, think about it, when you try to learn a skill set, what does it do? It requires sacrifice. It requires time. It requires work. It requires loss. It requires money. It requires time. But once you've mastered it, it feels like it's fucking autopilot. It feels like, dude, I'm not even fucking working. This is all fucking passive income. It feels like it's fucking like this shit is all fucking autopilot. Fucking like, dude, that's the best part about getting to the top. This shit feels like autopilot. Once you know how to drive a car, you don't think about what the fuck you're doing when you're driving the fucking car. You just drive the fucking car and you automatically get better with a clear fucking head driving the fucking car, not thinking about fucking shit because you know what the fuck you're doing. If you guys know what the fuck you're doing, you don't have to think about shit. You don't even have to work fucking like in certain situations like with this future shit. You don't even have to fucking work. The plan doesn't take that long to create all the time. It's just in waiting. When you're waiting, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can set price alerts, go fucking golfing, go fucking swimming with the fucking sharks. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's your fucking life. It's your fucking choice. The fuck? Best part about trading is there's no fucking boss. There's no fucking anyone telling you what the fuck to do. You just do what the fuck you want to do. It's your money. It's your market. It's your world. You create what the fuck you want. You know? These candles, these fucking charts, it's your life. You do what the fuck you want with this shit. You want to go in the money, you go in the money. You want to go far the money, you go far the money. You want to have multiple systems, you have multiple systems. You want to go futures, you go multiple futures. You do what's best for fucking you. It's your story, it's your money, it's your capital, it's your fucking dude. This is your chart. You know, this fucking chart here, it's yours. All this shit, this is all fucking yours. It's yours to do with. It's your choice on what you create with this shit. It's like it's kind of like being an artist. You know, what do you want to create? What do you want to do with this game? This chart right here, this visuals, it's all a fucking game. How do you guys want to play the game? What world do you want to create yourself? And what you extract from this virtual world, what do you want to use those profits in that experience in the real fucking world? Because trading is fucking life, you know? So when it's not time to trade, what are you using this into the real world with your profits, with your experience, with your knowledge, with your education? What are you extracting from this out into the real world, into your fucking world, into your fucking life, man? Trading is fucking amazing once you get this shit down. So that's what you guys need to do. I gave it a game plan. Use the game plan. Losing's a personal choice. Me, I'm genuinely blessed. I bought calls at the exact lows. I had a small loss. It was so small, it's like I didn't even have a fucking loss. And I did the right thing because that trade expired worthless and went to zero. It's a good thing I got out. I was in at 204, got out at 190. The other one I was in at 180. I was selling in the 240s. You know, great risk to reward, much bigger win than loss. And I fucking quadrupled my fucking gains on that fucking trade, dude. Like, I did fucking amazing considering I bought calls. Because for something that dropped 15 fucking points, the fact that I bought the lows and sold the peak, and then the next trade was just a dud, and then I bought ES at the lows, like, dude, I would say this. For going long, I did the absolute best you could have done within the market. You know? Was going long the best thing to do today? Absolutely fucking not. Did it work and was it extremely profitable? Yes, because I bought the lows and I kept on adding. I bought the lows right here. And then look, I added right here at 180, who's in calls. Everybody was fucking banking. Added at 178 cents, tripled it. Everybody was fucking printing. Everybody was fucking banking on fucking calls. Added 183 cents, quadrupled it. When you quadruple a win and you're in at 170s and you sell at 230 to 240, it's a nice win. When you have nice wins with that, you know, a nice 40, 50 cent profit per contract, you know, 40, $50 profit per contract, and you're fucking quadrupling your fucking ads, which makes it a fuck ton more gains. See, people are selling at 230, right? Nice quick scalp. It was the best trade you could have made on fucking calls. Is that fucking insane, amazing? In terms of the gains, like, it's not the best, but since I added, it's fucking amazing. But just what makes it amazing is because I bought at the lows. That's what just makes it so fucking amazing. Like, it's not the biggest percentage gains, but the fact that I added perfectly 4 fucking times and quadrupled it and bought at the fucking lows on a day where we dropped 15 points and didn't get fucking killed. Like, dude, the old me, the me in 2020 fucking 2, that fucking guy, he would have been buying calls all fucking day and losing money. That's what he would have been fucking doing. But who I am now, fucking sealed at the fucking, like, top of my fucking game, there's no fucking losing, dude. I'm winning on calls. I'm doing the unthinkable. No, nobody, like, dude, if SPY goes from 675 to 660, everyone's losing money on calls, but not me. I'm fucking making money. It's not the biggest of profits because they weren't the biggest of spikes, but I added 4 times and I bought the lows, dude. If you buy the lows of a trade and it's barely out of money and you sell that fucker in the money and you're adding to winners, it's a big fucking win. Out of money to in the money, small moves, add to winners is still a big win. Is it the biggest win to far the money options? No, absolutely fucking not. But you guys need to understand, not every single day is a day to trade far the money options, but every single day you could trade in the money options. But if you're trading in the money options when it's time to trade far the money options, it's not the best thing to do, but you could still do it and it works. So it's different systems, in the money options, the shit always, but you have to understand it is important to identify when it's time to trade far the money options because you don't want to be trading in the money when it's time to trade far the money, and a good balance could be just not going extremely far out. If it's just more of a choppy day or bigger move day, well, if you're going somewhat far out, it's a good balance where you're still going to fucking print regardless if it's a small move. But if you go too far out, you're just fucked on a day where it's not time to go far out. All the far out moves were during futures. If you're not trading futures, fucking the generosity, missing out on the best setups at the best prices. And some people, they don't trade the best setups at the best prices. Some people just trade their own system that relies on fucking momentum, that relies on fucking you know, intuition, which is fine if they have a system that works for them. But I'm telling you guys, if you're gonna stick to just one system, the most important thing is big wins, and just learning when to pull back and cut back on going in on that system because it's not gonna work all the time, which is fine. Because again, big winners allow you to go through losing streaks, to go through losing systems. If you just trade one sole thing, it's not always the best thing to do. We can all sit here and trade in the money options, but some days are going to be far the money options, and you can still make money on in the money options. But dude, it's still not the best thing to be fucking doing, right? Everything pays a price. Options give you options. Part of it is understanding which option works best for you, which means biggest gains for you and smallest losses for you, right? And then just adapting. You can adapt by not trading that system as much when it's during that season to not be trading it, or you can adapt by trading another system, or you can have multiple systems, right? It gets very complex, gets very advanced, right? But I would say, in terms of a simple, easy add-on where it's not going to fuck with you. Because if you're trading options and you go from far the money to in the money and you keep on switching in between the two, it's going to take time to adjust and it could fuck with you. It really could, It could fuck with your selling, it could fuck with your entering, it could fuck with your holding, it could start to fuck with you a little bit. If you just stick to one thing with options, it becomes fairly easier to kind of stay adaptive. If you keep on going in and out between far the money and the money, it can become a bit more, in terms of like trying to hold for the win. It gets a bit more complex. It requires a lot of discipline. You're gonna have to be really tapped in to the market's price action. It's a bit harder to do to trade both. To trade one is a lot easier, but I do think it's important to somewhat adapt to the market conditions. And part of adapting is not necessarily trading both, just cutting back when it's time and just not doing as much when it's just not working as overall, right? But the bigger your wins, the more you can fuck up, right? But that doesn't mean you just keep on fucking up. Like you should have some awareness of like, dude, it's just not the time to be doing certain things. And that's fine. You know? We have all the time in the world when it comes to the market, but we do not have unlimited fucking capital. You have your capital and that's it. If you lose it all, you have to find a way to get your capital fucking back. And you're not going to get it back within the fucking stock market if you fucking lost it all. You're going to have to fucking work and find another avenue to make fucking money, right? So we don't have unlimited fucking capital, right? In terms of the stock market, but we have unlimited time within the market, you know? So you need to trade the best setups at the best prices and adopt accordingly, and understanding what adapting is to you and understanding, what you want to create for yourself. But like I said, it does become more complex if you're going to try to adapt. As far as sometimes you're going to go far the money, sometimes you're going to go in the money. That's like peak complexity. But to keep it simple, you could trade options, right? Kind of focus on one thing. If you want to adapt a little bit and trade the other, in the money, far the money, it's completely fine. But don't do anything crazy. Don't like fully fucking take over, right? Do what works best for you with options. But I'm telling you, just a simple thing to add on in the back, on the back burner, just let the fucking passive income roll in. Futures. Futures is the ultimate add-on, dude. And you could just swing trade it. Swing trading futures is literally the easiest thing you could do within the market. If you pass up on that, like, just gain some fucking perspective on what you're fucking passing up on, dude. Like every single time, like this is a great example. If you bought right here during futures, dude, SPY fucking collapsed. It dropped 15 points. Look, it went fucking higher. If it did that shit today, which it didn't, but if it did, it would have fucking recovered, man. If SPY would have hit 6 fucking 50, it would have went to fucking 665 anyways. A win's a fucking win, you know? Like I genuinely believe in this market. What I would say, there's at some point there's an overall trend. At some point there's an overall trend. So if you trade with the overall trend, one way to look at it is, if I'm holding the trade that's with the overall trend, if it goes against me, you can almost look at it as if like the price is fake. It's not a real price because the real price is holding the overall trend. Can you make money in between that fake price periods? Like, for example, this would be a good example, right? Like, if you bought right here or if you bought right here, yes, you could have made money betting on it to go down and fucking shorting. You could have done that. But the overall trend was just bullish. So, another perspective is like, dude, no matter how low something goes, if it's gonna push higher anyways, you can kind of look at it as like it's not an accurate representation of what it truly is in terms of an overall trend. You can almost look at it as like, if you have a system where you can hold for that big of a loss, and one way you do that is just sizing in to where if it literally goes worthless and goes to zero, that's your max risk per trade, right? You have to have more money to do that in different asset classes to be trading. Zero option would be the best way to do that. But you get where I'm coming from, right? It's like it's almost perceived as like a fake move. Like you can literally think of this shit like, dude, if someone's going up the fucking stairs, right? They're just going up fucking stairs and they just pause and go backwards and go down like three fucking steps and then they go up fucking higher. Did those three steps really down backwards, did that really fucking matter? If we just all fucking knew like, dude, they're gonna make it to the top of the stairs at some point. Like they're gonna fucking go up. Like, if there's fucking 20 fucking stair levels to fucking go up, if someone goes up fucking 10 and drops back down to 3 and then they go straight to 20, like, did the drop from 3 really fucking matter? Was there time and is there systems to make money on that 3 point drop? Oh, absolutely, dude. But like, you know, if we're playing fucking basketball and we all know the other team's gonna fucking blow out the other team, but the team is just for whatever reason they're down 20 fucking points, but we all know that team's gonna come back from fucking 20 point drop and they're just gonna blow them out the fucking water. Like, dude, we all know what's gonna fucking happen. Like, fuck, like it's just it's just losing is genuinely a personal choice, man. This shit really fucking is, man. Like it's like I almost view it and look at it as just like fake moves. Like it's not even fucking real. Like yeah, you can make money in fake moves, but dude, just putting yourself in alignment with overall fucking trends and holding and just setting yourself up in a situation where you can hold through losers, especially just through fake moves where it's gonna be overall trends gonna work. Literally the best shit you can fucking do, man. So what we do is we trade far the money zero date options. We're known for selling them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. See, we had people bank out at 220. People were killing it on this fucking play. We absolutely fucking crushed it. Green, red, green, bottom on the first hour of trading. Um, shout out to this to one of our members. This guy's green literally every single fucking day, man. He's trading futures a lot of times when we're buying options. Whatever works for you. You can trade futures when we're trading options. That's completely fine. Everyone has their different systems, man. Like I said, we absolutely crushed this shit, man. Do you guys genuinely know how hard it is to buy calls at the exact lows? Literally, this entire week, I've been flawless. Like, I think I went like 6 for 7 or 7 for 8. I finally had one loss, and dude, look, it was a fucking dud. My loss, it basically wasn't even a loss because when a loss can't stand next to your wins, it's almost as if it doesn't exist, you know? If someone's climbing the stairs and they go up 10 and drop 2, and then they go up to 20, did the 2 steps back even fucking matter, dude? It really doesn't matter at all. Unless they actually learn something on why they drop back 2, then it kind of matters. But dude, at some point, someone's bound to have a loss or small loss. It really doesn't fucking matter. Like, that's just trading. Losses come with the game. It's about keeping your losses small and your winners big as fuck, you know? Like, losses don't even matter. I mean, they really only matter if there's just an educational reason on why that happened. But no matter what you do in the market, you will always have losses. And some of those losses, you're going to be like, dude, there was nothing I could have done better. It was just a loss, you know? Like if the win rate's 90% of the time, sometimes 10% of the time when you lose, there's going to be like an educational reason, or you made the same mistake you made before to lose. Or sometimes it's going to be like you did everything you absolutely could have done and it just didn't work. Market does that too. You have to be able to see which one it is, right? To get that clarity. Um, but yeah, my other trade, I was just in at 204 cents, same calls, and I got out at 190, so 14-cent loss on that. Very small overall loss. And then the other one was a 50 to 60 cent win. That's like a 3.0 risk to that's a fucking 3.0 risk reward ratio, and we quadrupled our position size on the win, and on the loss it was a triple position size, so we won much bigger on the win. It was quadruple, right? And everybody fucking banked on that play, man. Like I said, everyone, like, dude, everyone, like, everyone was banking on the overall play, man. Like, I'm fucking telling you, everyone crushed on that play. No matter how small the move is, if you buy out of the money and sell in the money and add to it, and you're getting it at the exact lows, the key is to getting it at a very good entry. Everybody banks on those fucking plays, and they notice that profit stops, and they notice selling the money. I mean, this market has been a great representation of, like, you know, it's not always time to go out of the money, and that's fine, because in terms of out of money systems, they give you the biggest gains in general. So it's fine to have losers, it's fine to have losing streaks, but I do believe there is a time and a place to pull back and to ease the brakes a bit, you know. Um, just like, for example, if there's, if there's just, if you're fucking driving and there's just always traffic all of a sudden, maybe just go out less a little bit more if you don't want to sit in fucking traffic, right? And just wait for things to adapt accordingly and come back. And just analyzing the patterns on why it is the way that it is, and trying to see why it is the way that it is, right? Part of trading is seeing and adapting. It's not just solely doing the same thing over and over and over again. You have to be able to see through things and adapt accordingly. But man, everybody crushed on that play. That's what I love to see. We're going to be taking gains on futures as well. We're not going to be flipping red. We already made a fuck ton on the trade. It already went up fucking 30 fucking plus points. We already banked a fucking shit ton on that. So yeah, if you want to trade alongside us, it's the first link down below within the description. You gain access to our secured private network and community. We will never send you a direct message. Do not get scammed by impersonators or anything like that. Bots in the DMs. We will never DM you, right? Everybody knows, if you guys have any support questions, you go to wap.com, any questions, and you ask them, wap.com, in the live chat on the website. You talk to them. If you have any problems, any issues, you go to them, right? We're never going to direct message you. You can chat with us inside of the paid chat, not through fucking direct messages, right? That's where all the fucking bots and scammers hang out. That we're not associated with. We don't use direct messages, right? That's one of the things about Discord, just fucking impersonators and bots. We don't use any of that fucking shit in the DMs. We will never DM you. You can chat with us in the chat in the paid premium group, right? But anyways, in terms of G-Roy's trades, he ended up going 2 for 3, which was a much better than his previous overall days. Like I said, man, this has been one of the worst months to go far out of money zero-rated options. And the crazy thing is, all of the far out of money perceived big move plays were all going futures. So if you wanted to participate on those big moves, you needed to buy futures. All the other days, it was mainly just at the money and barely out of the money, 1-2 points out of the money. Like, market shifted, market change. Best part about out of the money is you genuinely do make the biggest wins. So you can afford losses, you can afford losing streaks, but it is important to trade less and pull back. Which is something that Giroud has been doing. He hasn't been trading as much as he usually does, which is good, because it hasn't been, the absolute best time this month to be trading far out of the money options. I mean, me personally, I've just been keeping it very simple, doing my thing, buying calls, and I've been maintaining an extremely high fucking win rate, dude. I've been crushing it all these past 3 weeks. I barely had any fucking losses, all fucking wins. And I've just been going like 1 to 2 points out of the money. Nothing too crazy, but nice gains adding to winners. Right overall thing to do. And futures is the fucking one of those genius things to fucking do in March. So anyways, we had 661 SPY puts for 40 cents, and we had 662 SPY puts for 43 cents. So we did end up hitting puts, before and during FOMC, and both of those plays banked. 662 puts, 71 cents, right? And in terms of 662 puts, we got in at 43 cents. That's fucking 70% plus win, right? And then the other trade, 86 cents. 661 puts, 86 cents, right? And 661 puts were bought at 40 cents, 100% win. So G-Roar considering far the money options, that's a fucking amazing day. Considering how tough and difficult it has been during March to be trading far the money options, right? Which is one of the reasons why there have been less trades. You have to trust the process. If there's not a trade to be made, or if it's just less time to be trading, we will adapt and there's less trades. When we have a crazy season, you're going to see there's going to be a fuck ton of trades. Sometimes 8 trades a day, sometimes 10 trades a day, sometimes 12. As of me, I usually keep it around 2 trades, 2 to 3 trades, right? And that's what futures and zero-rated options, Usually every single day I'll play like 2 options trades. Typically the first one's a win, and if it is, I just take a small risk, like maybe take 25% of my gains on the next one. Like, Nothing too crazy, you know? And then 2 times a week, I usually have futures wins, you know, swing trades. So I day trade options. I go a little bit out of the money, sometimes barely out of the money, basically out the money, a little bit out of the money. G-Roar, he goes extremely far out of the money, right? Slight different systems, you know. Within the money options, there's always plays. That doesn't mean though always the right thing to trade in the money. Like I said, sometimes I do go far out of the money because I recognize there's going to be a bigger play at stake here, right? But just one of the things that I've noticed is, especially for a lot of my trades, like they work and they're timed extremely accurately. It's just a lot of the times when they go up 50%, 100% plus, a lot of the times they go back to red, you know? That's why you'll see me selling, you'll see me taking gains, and you'll see me setting those profit stops. Because a lot of the options trades that I make, you know, they don't go up unlimited fuck you profit fucking potentials like the futures trades do. That's just how it's been for me as of lately. You know, I've had other seasons where I held longer and they've been amazing, but in terms of overall, especially as of the most part and recently, it's just, you know, it's been overall smaller moves. But you know, adding to winners helps, and buying something that's still far out of the money and selling deep out of the money helps a fuck ton too. And it's still massive wins. And then futures is fucking, that's unlimited fuck you money. In your money, fuck you, sleep, make money in your sleep glitch, right? Futures is fucking crack, dude. Literally the best trades all of March have been during futures, you know? And I just think it would have to be absolutely degenerate to pass that up, because you can enter the trade in your sleep. You can wake up and sell for a profit. In part of this market, I'm telling you guys, part of trades come down to timing. And part of timing, if you want to know a glitch with timing, where it's like, dude, the main part, like, yes, we all knew 660 was the best level to buy, right? We all knew that. But what makes something much better to enter is not just an entry, it's the time you're entering. And I'm telling you, futures is a glitch that creates all the time in the world where it has to play out in your favor, even if it goes lower, even if you don't time it perfectly. Worst case scenario, it has a fake move against you and then it pushes higher any fucking ways. Like, dude, when you put yourself in a situation where you have all the time in the world for the best level to fucking work out, and a lot of the times that happens during future session. Like, futures creates glitches, man. Like, look at this shit. Look at all these big spikes during this gray area during futures. This shit is like a glitch. It's not normal. It's almost as if it's not real. It's almost as if it doesn't fucking exist. Most people in the stock market, this is how they fucking trade. They disable extended hours, and what they do is they look at this, and this is all they do. They're fucking blind. They're fucking degenerates. If this is all I used in the market, I would not be the trader that I am. I would have never become the person that I became. And likely I wouldn't look at trading the same. I wouldn't have the strategies that I have. I wouldn't have the systems that I have. And I would actually look at this like that's a severe disadvantage to be that blind within the market. Like, dude, look at the difference. Look at this chart here, and then look what happens when you add the fucking gray. Do you know how many fucking degenerates in the market who don't even look at extended hours? They're fucking degenerates, dude. I've created my best, simplest systems based off of extended hours. Do you know how many fucking times a level forms during extended hours, and when it's tested during normal trading hours, it plays out and it works to an exact T? You don't even need confirmations. I built a sole strategy off of extended hours to trade during normal trading hours, and now I have a system where I'm using extended hours to enter the best setups at the best prices during fucking futures, man. And make sure you guys are taking profits, because the reality is this shit can come right back down. I'm not going green to red when I'm 30 fucking points. I'm taking fucking profits. Everybody knows to take gains off, dude. This shit is fucking obvious. The fuck? Like, I'm not a degenerate and gonna sit here and say, oh, I'm gonna hold to the fucking moon. If it doesn't go to 665, it goes right back to my entry. You think I'm giving that back? Going green to red? No, I'm not a fucking degenerate, dude. 30 points is 30 points. Do that 3 times a fucking week. You're at nearly 100 fucking points. Do that fucking 50 times a week. Do the fucking math, man. 5,200 points a year. Compound that, you're rich as fuck. Losing is genuinely a personal choice. You guys need to join our group, and you need to start printing, and you need to start taking action, because this is the best time to take action within the stock market, to be trading options and to be trading fucking futures twice a week is all you fucking need, man. It's the first thing down below in the description. What we do is we trade far the money zero day options. We trade options. We're known for buying out of the money. We're known for selling deep in the money. We have the best zero day options trading alert system in the fucking game. Highest win rate. Not that we don't need it. You can be extremely successful trading alongside us with a win rate as low as 30 fucking percent. We have the biggest gains in the market. We add to winners, which doubles the triple the gains. We set profit stops to ensure that we don't go green to red, right? If you add to win instead of profit stop, you increase your gains by increasing your position size and you get profit stopped out. And if you move your profit stops up higher, you ensure that if the market has a big move against you, worst case scenario, you get profit stopped out at a higher price rather than your original lower profit stop. So you get to keep more of your profits by moving the profit stop up higher. And then everybody knows to sell and take profits into the money and into key levels of interest, despite if you think it's going to go higher profit target, right? And to hold and leave some runners for those bigger overall moves, right? At the end of the day, part of trading is knowing and seeing what you are. If you trade options, and on the vast majority of the trades, when you trade options, are going up and then going right back down, that means that you need to get in, you need to get out. You can leave some runners when you're extremely confident it's going to go in your favor, when you're getting confirmations where it makes sense, but you need to design more of your system to sell quicker and to sell at key levels rather than hold full size, and you need to set profit stops, you know? Everyone's different. Some people, when they buy options, it just keeps on going in their fucking favor and goes deep in the money. It's fucking insane, man. But if you're going closer to out of the money and closer to in the money, it's more of getting in and getting out rather than holding for a long period of time. If you're buying far out of the money, it's more of just fucking holding and then just selling the shit in the money, because once a far out of the money option goes in the money, it fucking prints insane, right? In the meantime, you're just kind of holding that fucker, playing it to go in the money, right? That's the point of far out of the money options, to kind of sell them deep in the money, right? But if you're buying something that's closer to in the money, like at the money, or barely out of the money, or maybe like 2 points out of the money, you know, more of the point is to get in and to get out once it goes in the money. That's the main point of that. Because if you buy something that's barely out of the money, right? And then it goes in the money, if it quickly goes back out of the money, you lose all your gains, you know? And if you truly believed, or if you just truly wanted it to be a trade where you hold it, you wouldn't even like go closer to in the money for the most part. You would just buy something further out of the money, right? Um, you know, it depends on timing too and your overall styles. But one thing with options is just important to analyze how you trade. Like if you find whenever you trade options, being self-sufficient, stuff like that, that, you know, let's say the vast majority of your trades, for whatever reason, you know, you time them pretty well, or they tend to work in your favor, but a lot of the times they go back to red, you know? And then you kind of have an idea of like, you know, well, when I enter a trade, how much does it go up on average before it goes red? And then once you have that statistic, you have a better understanding of like um when to be locking in gains on average, what to be aiming for, right? But when you're getting that analytical about it and using that data, you need to use times two, because, you know, Power Hour creates much bigger gains for smaller moves. Market open middle of the day, not as big gains for smaller moves. But the way to make big gains on small moves is to buy barely out of the money. It could be almost at the money, but like a little bit out of the money, 1 to 2 points, and sell in the money, right? If a trade is bought out of the money 1 to 2 points and it goes in the money, very nice profit. If you add it to the winners, much bigger profit. If it quickly drops out of the money, it's gonna take a fucking hit, and you're gonna be wanting that like sell in the money, which is why you should always sell some in the money. But I do believe it's an important understanding to just kind of have a baseline and understanding of like how your trades normally play out. If you normally buy an options trade and it doesn't go up multiple 100%, I would say to not aim for multiple 100%. If you think it's going to be a one way at a time where it's going to work out, then I would say keep it runners. And if you don't want to keep it runners, then just go further out of the money. Just make it is what it is. If you think it's going to be a massive win, instead of going in the money, make it of what it is. Go further out of the money, right? It's just one of the disappointing things about this. This is one of the most disappointing things that I dislike about far the money options. You can buy a trade and SPY can have a massive move in your favor. And you'll sit there and you'll be like, dude, I'm still not making money. I'm still red. I'm still down. And this shit just had a massive move in my favor. And then you start to think, like, fuck, I could have just bought an option that was like barely out of the money, sold it deep in the money. See, that's one of the things that I dislike about out of the money options, is because you can be right about the direction of the trade and you could still be holding it down and you could still be losing money, which is very fucking frustrating. Whereas if you bought something closer to the in the money, You buy it out of the money, quickly sell it in the money, nice win. And then it flips back red. Well, you already sold. Maybe you can get back in with lighter size, you know? In the money, closer to money options give you options to just do what you want. If you want to get in, you want to get out, like I did with that small loss, you can do that. With a far out of the money option, you can't do that. You just got to hold. What's far out of the money options is you just have to hold. What sucks about it is big moves can happen in your favor and you're still not green. That's one of the things that I dislike the most about far out of the money options. But man, I'm telling you, with options, man, it takes an extremely rare trader in person to be profitable going fucking 5 to 10 points out of the money. Like I'm telling you, in terms of G Roar's fucking like system of going extremely far out, it takes an extremely fucking rare person to be that fucking profitable and successful doing this fucking shit. Like that's another fucking realm and another fucking system to be going that far out and to be successful long term. Now, obviously, with this type of system, you know, there's gonna be times where losing streaks occur. There's gonna be times where you're gonna be trading less and pulling back. And it's important to just adapt to the best of the ability, especially when other people are following the overall system, right? But I will say, man, it's one of the toughest things to fucking do. But one of the cool things about buying far the money options is one of the cool things about it is you just buy it, you just hold it, and you sell it in the money. You sell it for green, right? So it's kind of like just holding a trade. It's kind of like, all right, this is where I'm at. This is the strike where I think it's gonna go in the money. You just hold it. So one of the cool things about out of the money options is you're kind of once you get in, you're not really like managing your trade or anything. Like there's nothing to manage. All you do is hold the trade, and if it starts to go green in the money, you start taking gains and you set your profit stops. When you guys go closer to in the money or not as far the money, it's more of managing a trade, you know? So if you saw what I was doing today, I had to manage that very strategically. I got in at the lows, I sold the peak. And then when I got back in, I got out very, very quickly. Me getting out that quickly, you know, I was managing my loss because I just had a big win and I identified that the price action was just extremely fucking shit. And since I went, you know, closer to in the money, it gave me the option of like, you know, since I went in the money, it gave me the option of like, you know, you don't have to hold this. You can just get out here, take a small L or a small win, and then you could just not get back in since it looks like shit. Or if it looks better later on, you could just get back in, get back out. But the thing to that is you don't want to overdo it. You know, like you have to be extremely disciplined to trade closer in the money. With out of money, you don't have to be as disciplined in terms of managing the trade because there's not much to manage. You just get in and you hold the trade. If you guys by far are the money, you should never be like stressed because all you're really doing, it's like everything you did was already determined. You understand? Like the thing about far money options is as soon as you enter, that's it. That's your trade. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to manage. It's basically like how I'm trading futures in a way. And obviously, I know this is like a great price to be selling, and we're gonna be locking in games, a lot of games, right? We're not flipping green to red. Like we fucking killed it on that shit, right? We're not fucking degenerates. You know, but the point I'm making with that is, you know, one of the differences with far the money options is basically when you enter that trade, that's it. There's nothing to do, there's nothing to manage. It either goes green or in the money or it doesn't, right? And when it goes green, you set profit stops, you move profit stops higher, you add to winners. So the only real managing thing you're doing is just holding and then adding and setting profit stops, which isn't much management at all. But when you're going closer to the money or barely out of the money, your management kind of looks like this. If you know that it's just known for going, you know, back out of the money or just not being this crazy massive fucking win, or a lot of your trades when you go closer to the money or whatever the fuck, or your trades in general are just not the biggest, most massive wins on the fucking planet, then you have a better understanding on where your baseline is. And a good baseline, if you're not going as far as the money, is to just kind of start selling and taking profits on a nice quick move in the money, right? So if price is at 667 and you buy an out of money call at 668, you go 1 point out of the money, you know, when it goes like quick move above 668 in the money, say like 668.30, 668.50, 30, 57 move above in the money, you start shaving, you start taking off profits. Obviously, if you're more confident in bigger moves, you can leave some runners, right? But you just need to understand the difference, man. Far out of the money options are really designed to just be fucking held. There's nothing to manage. So basically, when you enter that far out of the money option, that's your trade. It either expires worthless and you lose your max risk per trade, or you were right, it goes green, you set profit stops, and it goes in the money and you have a big win, right? With barely out of the money options or in the money options, you have to time it much better. You have to get in and out. You have to be, I would say, more strategic, more of a fucking like sniper, scalper, fucking trader making moves and shit. And that could fuck with some people because they're making a lot of decisions very, very fucking quickly. That's why I said baselines of understanding how much you're up percentage wise, baselines of understanding to sell when it starts to go in the money, right? Not aim too big. Baselines of understanding, okay, if a lot of my trades, when I buy out of the money, once they go in the money, they're flipping back out of the money and they're going back to my initial entry. Now I know I should start to lock in gains. But just in general, like when a trade goes in the money, it's smart to take profits because if it quickly goes out, you get back all those massive profits. The massive profit is when the trade goes barely, is when the trade starts to go in the money. If you buy out of the money and a trade starts to go in the money and then it has a nice little quick spike in the money, going a little bit deeper in the money, that's where all the profit is made. But if you don't sell where all the profit is made within seconds and minutes, that big move that I had could go straight back out of the money. You could wipe and lose out all those fucking profits. Just like my calls today. I bought calls at 178 cents. It went to 250 cents and then it dropped straight back down. If I didn't sell the peak, right? And part of selling the peak is having a strategy, break and retest, seeing clear levels to be exiting. And part of selling is in the money. When trades go in the money, that's part of taking profits because the reality is if you buy a trade and then it goes in the money, if it quickly goes back out of the money, you're basically risking a fuck ton of profit. And if you're risking a fuck ton of profit when you already have a nice win, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense, man. Especially when you're going like closer in the fucking money, dude. Like, you could literally just get the fuck back in. With like one little move, and you could just get the fuck back in like that. So, man, those are just some of the differences. Like farther, if you think about farther than the options, it's like the trade was basically the trade was basically just once you made it, there really is no trade after that. It's just blindly fucking holding. If you think about it, like you bought an option for the money, you're planning for that to go in the money. What are you gonna do? There's nothing to fucking do. All you can do is hold. It either expires worthless or it goes green. But if you trade like a sniper, you know, timing matters. Fucking timing still matters with far money options, but like you got to be quick and strategic. That's why you got to know, like, okay, I got to start to sell in the money. I got to start to sell at key levels. Like, at least in runners, I think it's gonna be a move, but you got to be quick. You got to be quick, 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 speed, fucking speed, motherfuckers. So take gains off on the futures, leave some runners. We fucking killed it on that. Everyone's green as fuck, losing his personal choice. Join our group, man. Get the fuck in here, start winning, start fucking printing, man. It hasn't been the best time to be trading far many options, but we're doing a pretty damn good fucking job of like still fucking managing to fucking win with how we trade options, and everybody's still staying within the group. Nobody's fucking leaving, man. You know, it hasn't been the greatest seasons to be traded far many options, but man, futures kicked in. We turned the fuck up on that. I still have my trades, out of the money that I sell in the money, 1 to 2 points out of money, selling the money. Those are still fucking pretty nonstop. Keep my win rate high as fuck. I've adopted all accordingly. I'm doing exactly what I should be doing and what works best for me, right? Best part about far many options is you can easily afford losing streaks and losing seasons because the wins are just so fucking big and ecstatic, man. Um, if you were green 10 months out of the year and red 2 months, which is something that never happens or we never do, but if some seasonal shit hit or something, like March just hasn't been the best for the money, but like I would like to think if someone has 2 red months and 10 green months, I would like to think they're still green if they're trading far money options because the wins are so much bigger than the L's, dude. And we're not doing anything crazy, like on far money options, March hasn't been the best month to be trading them. And there's been less trades on far the money. Some of them worked, some of them haven't. It's been the absolute worst month to trade the YOLOs. But we're not risking a lot. We're not doing anything fucking crazy. A bulk of the fucking winning this month has been from my fucking trades. That's just the reality. All my fucking wins on fucking calls and futures. That's been the bulk of the fucking winning season on fucking March, man. But like I said, man, it's normal to have seasons like this where far money options aren't the best, and things can change very very quickly. And part of changing is adapting accordingly, which could mean trading less, which could mean trading in another system, which could mean sitting out, whatever that means for fucking you. Keep it simple, adapt accordingly, and level up strategy. But look, this is the best time to be trading. And we're just going to turn the fuck up nonstop and just keep on fucking winning. So I would encourage you to join the group. Far the money options, we sell deep in the money, biggest percentage gains in the market. We keep our losses small, starting light, sizing in light, keeping losses small. Most you lose is your max risk per trade, 100% of the trade. Most you make is unlimited profit potential, sometimes 500% to 1,000%, typically once or twice a week. And we add to winners, which double to triple the gains. We set profit stops to ensure that we don't go green to red. We move the profit stops up higher to ensure that, we don't get back the bulk of our gains. And most importantly, we don't have a lot of losses and we keep our losses very fucking small. And the wins are much bigger than the losses because the percentage gains are much bigger and we add to wins, which double to triple the gains. And we're able to increase our position size without taking on extra risk by setting profit stops. Think about it. If you bought right here, right? And you set a profit stop, you likely wouldn't have been stopped out the entire day because the pullbacks were very small, right? You gradually move the profit stop up, and if it just keeps on going in your favor, you double to triple your position size early into the win, and it's a massive win. And then sometimes, like if you buy right here and then you add into this, you get profit stopped out. Move your profit stop up, don't get back the bulk of your gains, right? So sometimes it just goes straight from out of the money to deep in the money, right? You don't have to time it perfectly. The trade has the whole day to go in the money. Sometimes it goes straight up and it comes back down. You get profit stopped out. Or if you went too far out of the money, you wouldn't have made money in that situation. But if you traded the overall trend, which is what we do, eventually it goes into money. Eventually you make money. You just got to hold the fucking trades, man. You'll see. We all got different systems, man. I got a different system. GROAR has a more further out of the money system, right? So my system, you could basically use it anytime in the market, but that doesn't mean that it's always right to use that system within the market because sometimes it makes a lot more sense to go further out of the money. And I do a good ability of adapting to that. But GROAR, he's always going further out of the money, and not every month is going to be the absolute best in terms of hard money options, right? And part of that's just adapting, which just means trading less, sizing in less, and I'm just easing the brakes a little bit, just not being as aggressive. And it could also mean for some people to trade multiple systems, but that's where it gets more complex. I mean, you guys know me. I've always been the person who just has a foundation of I'm gonna trade the best setups at the best prices, and I'm gonna do it at the best times to do that. So for me, since my foundation has always been best setups, best prices, and educational focus, with everything else coming after that, like intuition and stuff like that, stacked it within. To have me, I've always wanted to have it all, everything stacked within my favor. But the foundation has always been, rather than just momentum and intuition as a base, it's always been, education first, best setup at best prices, and then I need to stack everything in alignment within my favor. Like intuition, momentum, confirmation, stuff like that, right? Instead of just purely momentum and intuition, right? Everybody does what works for them, but I know my baseline and my foundation, and I've adapted accordingly. I'm not going extremely far out. I'm staying closer in the money, but still going out of the money 1 or 2 points. And I've understood that a lot of my trades, they go green to red. They go up 50%, 100%, and then they go red. So I know to not aim for the biggest. That's just for me and where I'm at right now. I've been in other seasons where I made much bigger wins and stuff like that. Everybody has different seasons. Like you've seen with GROAR, he had the vast majority of the time, he's fucking killing it every single fucking time, going on crazy fucking streaks, multiple 100% returns, 1,000% returns. Now all of a sudden in March, it's just not as like that. And that's just how the market, is. But he's adapted fairly well. He hasn't been trading as much. I mean, he's been overdoing a bit on the YOLOs, but I can understand why the wins are so fucking massive, 1,000% plus gains. But it's like we're not taking big risk anyways. And when you win, like, dude, I'm telling you, when you add to winners and you hit 1,000%, it wipes out all the losses, man. Like, think about it. You can lose 100% on a YOLO. It's just a 100% loss, your max risk per trade. If you tripled your position size on a 1,000% win, it's almost like you just had 30 fucking wins in a row. Meaning you can have like fucking 15, 20 plus fucking losses in a row and you'll still be fucking green. That's why GROAR just keeps on fucking going. But has he eased back and has he traded less? Yes, absolutely. Because that's just part of adapting to market conditions. If it's not time to trade farther money options, we still might shoot our shot instead of just completely walking away from the game because we don't want to be that fucking dry on the fucking supply. Like we want to maintain our experience and momentum within overall markets, but we're not going to be taking crazy risk and we're going to be sizing low. Like just part of adapting isn't necessarily to stop trading. Um, it's just pulling back, still making some moves here and there, but just sizing back a little bit, just not trading as much and just getting a feel for the overall markets with your system. At the end of the day, if you have a system that works and you know when to pull back, when to trade less, when to size down a little bit, it's very easy to know this in a way of like just understanding we just add to winners and set profit stops any fucking ways. It's not like we're adding to losers and worried about our size, right? But it's just understanding seasons and environments that we're in and just adapting and adjusting to that, especially with far money options. Not every single month is going to be fucking 1000% gainers like that, like that, like that. But with far money options, they're the best seasons to fucking get shit fucking rich quick. And you don't give it all back in a bad season. You trade less, size down a little bit. If you want, you can even adapt and trade other systems, futures, into money options, right? Not that you have to, because far money options, the wins are big enough. And just literally understanding of like adding to winners on 1000% plays, dude. That's how you get rich. One loss is 100% loss, your max risk per trade. One win, triple your position size, 1000% win, wipes away all the L's. One loss is fucking non existent to one big win. And there's seasons where we have many of those big wins. In terms of March, it hasn't been that season for far many options, which is fine. We're not getting hurt. We're not taking big losses. 1-2 loss here and there, very, very small L's. When the 1000% plays come back, it wipes away all the L's, but we've already had those plays this year, so it already wiped out all the fucking L's, dude. You know? I mean, literally part of a system is just giving back a little bit profit just to maintain your experience of trading that system. I don't think the best overall thing to do is just to completely stop your system. If anything, it might be smart and a little bit better to get back a little bit gains and to lose a little bit money because you're maintaining your experience and you're maintaining your feel of the overall market's price action. The moment that the one of the worst things you can do, you know, is walk away from the market. The moment you walk away from the market, you lose your experience, you lose your edge. This is why I don't like the weekends. This is why I don't take vacations because the more time I take off, I don't feel as sealed. I don't feel as fucking like I feel like, oh fuck, I gotta get back in the fucking game and figure this shit out. Like, I don't like that shit, man. Part of my success is consistency, you know? Like, at the end of the day, I'll always be sealed. I'll always be who I am, but I don't like drifting away from that. Like for me, I don't like some people are like, oh, you take time off, you come back fresh. Like, no, fuck that. Like, if you need some time off, you need some time off. But dude, like, I'm the type of person, I want consistency. I don't want days off. I don't want vacation. I don't want to take breaks, especially if I don't need a fucking break, which is something rarely ever fucking needed in the fucking first place. Like I don't need that time off. I don't need that pleasure, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, I'm good. If unless I genuinely needed it, then I fucking need it, which is just very rare for me. Like, I just look at that as like, dude, if you're in your craft, part of your craft is staying in your fucking craft. The moment you walk away from your craft, it's like, fuck, I gotta get back in the game. I gotta like figure this shit's gotta click. Like, I don't like that feeling. I don't like that. I don't like trying to rebuild up something that I've already built, that I've already put in all the time of work in. I genuinely don't like that. That's why, like, I'm telling you, dude, I'm always looking to trade. Futures gives me more experience. Like, I'm always looking to trade, 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 trade. I don't like not trading. I do like adapting and having all the systems. I like that. I like adapting accordingly. Some of the ways I adapt is I have multiple systems. Futures came in clutch. Fuck. People were shouting in my fucking comments at one point in this channel, like, dude, all your shit's playing out during fucking futures. Are you trading fucking futures? Like, what the fuck? You're making these game plans. Everything you're fucking saying is working during futures. Like, are you gonna start trading fucking futures? And I figured it out. Took me time, but I figured this shit out, man. I'm so much better at trading futures than I was last year. Last year, I was fucking killing it. It's like, dude, from the moment I started trading futures, I just started killing it. But this year, oh man, it's so much fucking better than last year. Even though I killed it last fucking year, vast majority wins as well. Like, fuck. This year, it's just untouchable 100% win rate. It is what it fucking is. More time, more experience. But I don't like walking away from experience. I think people are seals, and I think people are always have their skill sets. But I just see no benefit at all from walking away from something that you're good at. I just like to compound it and build it up and just keep on getting better and better and leveling the fuck up and stay locked in and stay dialed the fuck in. I don't like walking away from what I'm good at. I don't think that's gonna benefit me at all unless I genuinely need like a break of some sort. But if anything, I just look at of like walking away from something as just like breaking it. It's like I had something good and this time off isn't gonna benefit that. The more time I put in, the more I work towards something, the more consistent I am, the better I get at it, the better I get at seeing things that other people don't see, the better I get at trend recognition and pattern recognition, right? That's why I've always been a type, I don't like time off in the market. If it were my choice, I would make a 24/7 market 7 days a week. You know, I would do that. And what would happen is when that's done, a fuck ton of people are gonna blow up their accounts and they will not be in the market for a very long time, dude. Because some people is just degenerates, you know? Time exposes and reveals what something is. And that's part of the reason why I don't like time off in the market. Because time off in the market, I don't look at that as like I come back fresh and sharp and better. No, no, no. I look at that as like, oh fuck, I just lost time in the market. I just lost experience. Oh fuck. Like now it feels like I'm back in the fucking trenches trying to build this shit up. Like fuck that. Fuck that. Like if you have something that works, keep on building that shit up and leveling the fuck up and gaining experience, dude. The fuck? I don't like being rusty. I don't like having time fucking on the back of it. Like, no. Like if I'm sealed and this is who I am, that's where I want to be. And I don't want to be away from that. If I'm good at something, I want to keep on becoming better and better at that skill set. I'm not gonna look at it as like if I take time off, I'm gonna come back better. No, no, no. Fuck that. If someone's good at something and they consistently do it, they'll consistently become better at it. Are times and breaks needed? Absolutely. And then that's part of awareness within the market, you know? But I don't see it as an advantage at all unless it's truly needed to walk away from the market. I look at that as a disadvantage, you know, like I don't like that. Like if I'm good at something, I like to do it 7 days a week. That's what I like to do. I don't like a fucking all right, let's do it 5 days, we'll have 2 days off. I look at those 2 days of like, fuck, I could have been gaining experience. I could have been leveling up. I could have been trading. I don't like a disconnect. If something disconnects me from winning, if something disconnects me or pulls me back from what I'm good at, I don't want or need that time off unless it just becomes a thing where like genuinely like if I don't take a step back, it's just going to get worse. You know, and that does happen within trading at times, but for me, it just that just doesn't happen anymore. In my past, I would say like, yeah, breaks were needed, things were needed, you know, but at some point in time, like, yeah, vacations are needed, stuff like that. But like, dude, like I just never see it advantageous for the most part if you're good at what you do to throw away consistency. And the way I look at consistency is like if you're not doing it every single day, I just look at that as like a disconnect of like you're just not performing at your absolute baseline optimal best potential, right? That's why I don't like the weekends, man. I really fucking don't because it takes me away of what I'm good at, you know? And I don't like that. I don't like feeling disconnected. I don't like not being able to do what I love to do and what I'm good at every single fucking day. I don't fucking like it at all, you know? But just stay locked in as much as you can stay locked in. And one of the ways I stay locked in when the markets close, I plan. That's what I do. I create plans. On the weekends, I look at the charts, go back throughout the history. I create plans. I study. It keeps me in my craft. It's good. So I'm gonna leave it off at that. Shout out to everyone who took profits and banked on the fucking futures. Like I said, the rest from here is literally just runners. There is no going green to red when you're up 30 fucking points. Losing is genuinely a personal fucking choice, especially when you're setting profit stops. First link down below in the description if you want to fucking print and win.